Oh,
God.
Don't go live yet. I'm eating my candy cane. And welcome. There you go. Yeah, we're live, Jimmy.
I keep hearing all these other things. All right, well, this is the preamble, just to make sure that we're actually streaming and people can hear us. I do like that I can see the chat here on the side. And I think starting us off before we really start the show proper, I want to highlight this question from Colin Gray for people to join in, which was, how did everyone stumble across the BDNS? Honestly, I just randomly found it one day on iTunes. I think that's a great little icebreaker for everyone in the chat. Thank you all so very much for coming, but we can't really start without an intro, in my experience. So hopefully this works.
You've arrived. How lovely.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody! I will give you a show like you have never, ever seen before.
It was good. It was good until then.
And welcome to the final interval. And I pray to God my internet holds out. It probably won't. And when it fails, boys, continue on without me. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk in the chat, everyone. Welcome, Nerdosphere. I am your host, Jedi Master James Kincaid. With me tonight, the intrepid Imperial Commissar, Jeff Budd.
Top billing one last time.
One last time. As if there was any doubt that it would be Professor from the School for Gifted Youngsters, Chris Davis.
We're on winter break, but I expect a top billing. I was a stalwart, baby. Give me my dues.
I'm so happy, Davis, that you used that word, because it will come into play, God willing, if I'm still on this show later on tonight. So keep that in mind. And the money behind the operation, executive producer Adam Zika.
Seems like the money maybe ran out, but I also did not get the memo. I did not get the memo on the shirts or the sweatshirts. Why didn't you tell me? I would have, I don't know, made one online.
Well, you could have bought the new stuff. Oh, here we go. Somebody else to add to the party, just to make my internet work a little less well. Let's see if we can load him in here.
He's been having some problems.
Has he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well,
but how's the internet with it?
Head boy Timothy Childs, can you hear us? Well,
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Tim, can you hear us? I don't think he can. We'll see how he's doing. Tim, as you can just see in the chat, Ilsa Gabi, Segs is coming, or supposedly is going to be coming later. Love the mug, Jeff. John Craig is coming in a little bit. Mark Trex is coming. Pretty much, it's the gang will all be here. Welcome. I'm glad the Nerdosphere is here. Thanks for coming out and being a part of the live stream. Colin Gray asked, Tim, are you returning James's iPod? I don't think Tim ever got it, to be honest with you. I don't think he got it back. It did get run over when I was visiting Jeff in Southern California one time, and still worked fine after that. So that was a tough little beast, I must say. Let me try Tim one more time here.
Did you try Lee yet?
I'm going old school.
Old school. Respect.
Respect.
Well, while we're loading everybody in here, yes, I only use Zunes. I kind of stay away from the non-name brand MP3 playing devices, pretty much. Just welcome, guys, as we're getting started here. I think Colin asked a great question in the chat about how everyone in the Nerdosphere found us. So, if you guys want to chime in on that question as we go along.
You and John told me about how you wanted to do this show, and I was like, yeah, I'd love to be a part of it. Thanks.
Yeah, well, we'll start there then internally. When
Drinking
we
wine
did...
too, it's last night.
Oh, good. Well, excellent. You like wine.
Like wine.
Jeff, thinking back on those early days, what was your expectations for the Best Damn Nerd Show when we sort of were putting it all together? Because honestly, it's been since February 5th, 2009 was the first episode.
Oh gosh.
The talking about it, began in earnest, a month or two before then, when we were signing up for classes and stuff. To the best of your recollection, what was your sort of expectation level when this idea was coming about?
I thought you guys were going to do it for a semester, however long you had the class for. Thought it was going to be you and John. I didn't even know Seglia yet. Barely knew Davis. And then I was going to pop in like every once in a while if you guys wanted to talk like Warhammer or something like that. Yeah. And then I did the first episode, and then you guys you didn't kick me out, and I kept going until I moved.
Did you? Yeah, you went. Well, you went off to fight in the Great Spice War.
That's actually BDNS canon.
Yeah. Yes, it is. I was thinking about that, and I'm going to try and do justice to the near 13-year history of the Best Damn Nerd Show.
I think BDNS canon is we all got killed in that zombie apocalypse anyway, or like other than you and John.
Yes, exactly. I believe that is that is the canon.
You're the only ones who made it to the bunker.
Davis, how about you? Because I didn't really know you all that well, just like Jeff, until the Nerd Show. And what was your thinking on it? Did you consider yourself a nerd before the show, and just how has it changed it?
Yeah, I consider myself a nerd, just not to that extent. It was gaming and old comic book days, and I watched every movie I could. So from like a pop culture standpoint, that was everything I was. But I didn't really celebrate it like you guys were. And, I had these two roommates, John and Tim, that were celebrating it nightly on WoW. And they invited me to a show, and I was like, yeah, they're going to want me on for one. This is going to be a fun, 2 hours. And that'll be it. and weeks went on. We had a great time in the studio. I mostly love just hanging out in the studio, not only during the show but before and after, just talking with people from other shows, and all the preamble we had, just kind of leading up to everything and just joking around. It was just a good time. It was a good community of people, and that really drew me in. I think it's just the type of people that were involved. And meeting all you guys and getting to know you guys closely was a lot of fun.
I know, we all became such besties.
The joy, absolute.
I missed the night before write-ups that you, John, and I would do in the apartment. Those were so much fun.
I love those early days, and when John comes on, I'd love to circle back to that if with the opportunity. And those those early days of sort of sneaking out, tiptoeing past a sleeping ogre as we were heading into SF State, as Lee had like 6 and 8 beers the night before.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Adam, how about you? You were been my friend since middle school, and by the way, I love your virtual background, which is the Jurassic Park.
That's where all the money for the BDNS went.
Yeah, it's a little cold. It's been a little cold here, so I'm on vacation right now.
Virtual.
Yeah, spared no expense, did Adam Zika. But Adam, were you listening to us before we brought you on, and just when?
Yeah, I remember it was 2019, and you had started the show, and I don't think I'd met. Or say 2019. 2009, whatever.
Yeah, right.
That's how long it's been.
It's been a long time. Wait, you said 13 years, right?
Yeah.
Is that where I got it from? All right. And I don't think I'd met like Jeff and Chris and folks at that time. But I remember that you
once. That was it.
Okay, I'd met you once, and I remember you were doing the show. I was listening to the show, and it was a live call-in show at that time. So I remember thinking like, when do I call in? When's the right time to call into the show? Because I'd like to be a part of it. I didn't necessarily want to be like a host or anything, but I wanted to make an appearance. And of course, what better time than when talking about Soul Calibur and discussing best Soul Calibur characters?
I forgot about that.
And so I called in and said that, obviously Voldo's the best Soul Calibur character, which I think to this day actually holds up pretty well.
That's canon. I had completely forgotten that was
was a
your
great call.
introduction.
Yeah.
I had completely forgotten. Let's bring on CSO of Star Labs, Mark Truex, to the Best Damn Nerd Show. Welcome to the final interval. Yeah, wow. Welcome to the final interval.
Whoa.
Indeed.
We should have worn our Ultra Monthly shirts, Mark.
I thought about it, but
Onward
I
and
had to go
upward.
out
Upward.
with
Dang.
Star Labs. Gotta go.
Well,
Gotta go classic.
Davis and I wearing dress yellows. We're doing our thing.
Well, Mark,
Killing myself after the show. I want to be buried in this.
We're talking about how the listeners first became aware of us, in our early impressions of being a part of the Best Damn Nerd Show. You're a beer baron, but you got brought on into this, after our initial SF State run. What was that like for you? What was your expectation level and just sort of all that?
Oh, this is easy. Never listened to the original show. Not once. Came on for Bang Boom Kapow, Comic Talk Now. It was delightful. Because
Was
you
that
and I
your
just
first?
used to geek all the time. Yeah. Yeah, I never listened to the Nerd Show. Came on for the comic book talk. And that just morphed into, here we are today. Like, I think it's been 9 or 10 years since I've been doing it with you gals. So
it's crazy how much time has gone by, and again, just the friendships that have been built from it. Let's go to the chat here though real quick. And so apologies if you didn't make it, but here we go. Justin Schneier, aka the gay Florida nerd, who has been with us from the beginning. I always thought John was the cutest, but I lusted for Seglia. I used to hate Jeff from the very beginning, but these days he's the one I agree with 98% of the time. It took years to trust Mark, and I don't see the rest of the comment.
And Davis is hilarious. Love you, James.
There it is. And Davis is hilarious. Love you, James. Hey, thank you. And thank you for being here, gay Florida nerd. Really appreciate it, even though you're going to be getting in trouble at work. I've heard that you can't hear us at all. You're DJing on a cruise or something like that. The Cruise Corporation. But at any rate, I guess I can unmute Davis now that he's done in the kitchen. Hey, buddy. I don't think your mute function was working.
I pressed the mute button. so I tried.
I appreciate you trying. So here's something Adam, you brought up how it was a call-in show, and I again trying to go back through the archives and got well over 400 episodes from our original run. If you take into account Best Damn Nerd Show proper, the movie nights, the interviews,
Bang Boom Kapow.
Bang Boom Kapow.
Movie night.
Nerds of the Old Republic. But yes, we did start at SF State as a call-in show, and here is our very first phone call.
Surprised to see me?
Oh, never mind.
I know why.
It was Remy LeBeau?
Yeah, I know why. There we go.
I think we have a caller.
I just wanted to ask you guys what you're going to talk about for the next 16 weeks, considering you just covered all the content you had.
We got plenty more. We got some contests we're going to be doing every week. We might be holding some tutorials for certain games that people want to learn on air.
Next week we're having a 60-minute Dungeons and Dragons session on there.
We're going to be talking about.
You
we
want
have
to be
a
our
lot
DM?
of reoccurring segments. We haven't talked about a lot of stuff, and we got some reoccurring segments because we do nerdy things throughout our lives every day.
We're just talking about what we did yesterday, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys just out nerded the crap out of me. I was listening. I was like, I don't remember half that stuff that you're talking about.
So that was Chris Mack, who actually got in touch with me today and was sad to hear that we were ending the show, and it just kind of ironic that he was our first caller, sort of wondering how we would keep it going for a semester, let alone the near 13 years that we have now. And as I was going through all these different archives and stuff like that, I actually stumbled upon a lot of random segments to the point where it was sort of paralyzing trying to isolate them for this show. But here's one where we start talking about how we got our gamer tags, and it leads into a caller that I thought was pretty funny.
Honestly, it was like one of my spelling words in like freshman year of high school.
You just like the way it sounded?
It was actually jostle, so I failed that test.
Oh, well.
Jostle is what
that's all right.
That's how I came up with my gamer tag.
Awesome. Toph, you're awful. Chris, you're awful quiet over there. Why don't you tell us about your gamer tag?
You didn't address me, so I didn't talk. That's why I'm quiet.
No, I know. I just...
Slow down.
You look like you had something to say.
No. So gamer tag. Mine is the Topher Tap.
Explain yourself. What the hell is that?
I would rather not, but I will.
No, explain it.
You was drunk and...
Well, yeah, actually I was. So...
No, I wasn't kidding.
Yeah. No, well, Topher comes from my real name, which is Christopher. It's just
okay, lame number one.
Weird, huh?
Clever.
Yeah, stupid number one. Okay, go on. And how's Tap?
My second year of college, I was drinking with some friends. A little bit too much. I started to do the Crip Walk, or what I thought.
Probably not.
What
There's
I
a YouTube
thought
video of this, by the
was
way.
the Crip Walk, or how I perceived it, and it became known as the Topher Tap.
Because it was nothing like the Crip Walk.
Well, there you
Exactly.
go.
So if you want to go see it, it's on YouTube. Search Chris Davis Hop Skip.
There you go. Awesome.
Is it still on there?
We have John V on the line with the Best Damn Nerd Show. John.
Sure hope not.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Not too much. We're talking gamer tags. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. You guys want to know what my gamer tag is?
Hell yes. What is your gamer tag?
Hey, well, on World of Warcraft, my gamer tag is PigVirus69.
PigVirus69. That has not been addressed with Blizzard yet as being inappropriate or anything like that?
No, not at all. And the best part about it is like when I'm playing, I tell guys, I tell the other guys that I'm a chick, and they usually give me their gold. And I'm
Brilliant, sir.
James does that too.
What kind of character are you? Pigvirus suggests undead, but I've been wrong before. John, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, what kind of character do you have in WoW?
I have a level 62 warrior. I'm undead.
Undead. There we go. Boom. That is why I'm a lore master. John, thank you so much for the call. Thanks for calling in. We'll talk to you soon. All right.
You know what is absurd about your gamer tag, Davis, is that Topher is not a name. It's not. I'm sorry. You can't.
Topher Grace. It's Chris Grace.
You cannot have people call you by the second half of your name.
I am not Mace Kincaid.
I'm not Nathan because my name is Jonathan.
I did not have.
I didn't even think about that. That's pretty cool.
I wouldn't be Vid if my name was David.
I did not have people.
Tim isn't Mothy because his name is Tim.
Or just Moth, because that's awesome.
Dude, can we call you Moth?
You can totally.
Awesome. Moth!
Tim, what is your gamer tag?
I don't really have a gamer tag. Sionin is my oldest character.
How'd you come up with that?
I just made it up. And actually, I found out Siana...
By a serendipitous stroke of fortune.
Yeah, means everlasting one or something like that, or immortal life.
Being a night elf, that's pretty cool.
Some garbage, yeah. Being a night elf druid, it works. So.
Tim, you truly are one of those magical people to walk among us.
Actually, I just want to say one more thing. In like 6th, 7th, 8th grade, when I was getting my first AIM screen name, I named myself Fox Noodles. Because I liked Fox, the writing company, not the animals, and I like noodles, like Top Ramen. That's no joke. And so I combined the two things I liked into a screen name, Fox Noodles 2002.
Wonderful.
And it was like 2000 or something, and I was like, I'm gonna be ahead of the time.
And for those 2 years, you were ahead
well,
of the time.
I didn't think we'd ever get to those 2 years, but we did.
Yeah, well, you made it.
Still the same.
Well, so it's just one of the random things. I had no memory of that really happening. But yeah, we used to be a call-in show, and I had completely forgotten about the origin of your gamer tag, Davis.
I had no idea that... Go ahead, Davis.
I haven't searched for that video for a while, so kind of hoping it's not there still.
I was going to say that
Tap. I gotta check that out.
I can't believe you've been living off the royalties of that this whole time. I didn't. I was wondering. But
well, that's how we paid for your estate there.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is a great question. Do you guys ever hate hearing your own voice? I can't stand how I sound. Probably why I could never do a podcast. I actually cannot stand the sound of my own voice, and it goes.
You sounded so adorable in that recording, though. You sounded so young.
It is interesting going back.
Sweet little boy.
And listening. Thank you. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but yeah, it's always been kind of cringe for me to listen to my own voice.
Can't stand it. I hate my voice. But I listening to our voices, I think they're all very interesting how it's all come together. But yeah, no, I can't listen to the podcast if I'm on it.
It's
can't
tough.
do it.
I can only listen to the podcast if I'm on it.
I knew that would be the answer. But speaking of voices, the
Oh,
man with the most signature voice on
there he is.
the Best Damn Nerd Show,
What timing?
counterterrorism expert Chris Seglia. Welcome. And welcome.
We got rid of that name.
Final boss.
Final boss, that's right. Final
We
boss,
got rid
Chris
of that name
Seglia.
too.
And
Optimus
welcome.
Prime.
I can't listen to either of your voices, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, well, you're in good. But how about yours? I mean, so signature, so many compliments of it.
So I can't hear what you guys hear, so my voice in my head does not sound anything like what you guys hear. So it's terrible. So I don't listen to anything back.
Well, I mean, so I guess other than Jeff, well, Mark and Adam didn't answer in terms of listening to their own voice. Although Adam, you've branched out into your own podcast as well.
Yeah,
and so
but
has Mark.
nobody likes their own voice, right? It's
yeah, you would think.
just a thing. Actually, I probably like the stuff I say less than even my voice, so that's the reason why I don't like to re-listen to it. Except for Voldo being the best character.
Segs, now that you've joined us, as we're sort of just reminiscing over the near 13 years of the Nerd Show, going back to the very beginning, you remember when you first, coming on and just what you thought it could be, and just sort of the fact that we kept it going for this long, with some starts and stops, but whatever.
Yeah, look at us now. Look at us now. Hi, everyone. Hi, Jeff.
Hello.
Hi, James. Hi, Davis. Hi, Mark. Hi, Adam. Adam, what's up? I don't even know
Been
you
a
were on the
while.
show.
I make thanks. I make an appearance every now and again. It's good to hear your voice.
Did Tim stand me up? We talked about this. We coordinated.
He
and
tried
all
a
this
couple
stuff.
times. It didn't work out for him.
That
Tim is having some technical difficulties, as am I, to be totally honest with you. So this whole thing might be for naught. But one of my favorite things about the new run of the Best Damn Nerd Show, is we're going to be bouncing all over, is we did incorporate some pretty cool segments, a couple of games here or there, and I think maybe my favorite of the new things that we layered into the Best Damn Nerd Show over the past year or so was courtesy of Mark Truex and his weird fixation with Army Hammer. And so I pulled Mark aside and asked him if he could put together another edition of the Army Hammer game. And so, as I understand it, Mark, this time the game is known as Army Hammer DMs or Creepy Movie Quotes.
This is correct. 100%.
So I think it would be best if we just have two people participate in a few rounds here, right? What do you think, Mark? Hey, you made the game. I've not seen any of these. What do you think would be best?
Let's do it. We can do teams of two or whatever you want to do. I just got a slurry of quotes.
That leaves
here.
one of us out.
Is he still releasing stuff that is that creepy?
He dropped so much content in the beginning of the year that it's so much to feed on. It's keeping me titillated.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we do C-section and then Jeff and Adam and Mark and I will sit out.
I wasn't paying attention this entire time, so you better carry us.
We can't lose.
All right. How do you play the game?
So it's real simple. Real simple points. They may not mean anything in the end.
Perfect.
But basically, Hollywood A-lister Army Hammer has a bit of a kink. Some would call it crimes against humanity, but some people would call it a kink. And he's been outed in a series of DMs earlier this year. And this has led to a game where we either I read out a quote. It's either A-lister Army Hammer's private DMs, or B, a creepy line from a movie. You choose, my friends. So why don't we get started?
It's not an Army Hammer movie, right? It can be any movie?
Correct. This is any movie.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the last rendition was purely cannibal related. This time...
Yeah, oh yeah. If you guys
We've
didn't know,
gone
that's
deeper
Army
into the
Hammer's
muck.
kink. He likes to tell people that he's going to eat them.
He's 100% cannibal.
I'm 100% a cannibal. I wish.
Does he follow up on it though, or is he just all talk?
The Winklevoss twins are cannibals.
Yeah, and apparently Hollywood A-listers. I didn't know that either.
Well, one of them was and ate the other.
Unless we're talking about a different Army Hammer.
Oh, then there's two of me. I'm interested to see how round 2 goes. I must say, but I was more intrigued by the cannibal quotes than perhaps what this offering is. But Mark, you have the controls, sir. So it's C-section against Commissar JB and the executive producer ABZ.
Let's do it. C-section to start. Let's go with Mr. Davis. I have a fantasy.
Working as a team.
You're
just asking C-section.
Fine.
We have to control.
Changing the rules on me. All right.
You're the host.
Ship you guys are leaving us with.
Just read the quotes, monkey.
I have a fantasy about having someone prove their love and devotion and tying them up in public place at night and making their body free use and seeing if they will fuck strangers for me.
All right,
that's a Shia LaBeouf movie.
There are definitely other actors this could be. I feel like, and but
Army Hammer or movie quote.
Where are you falling on it? Do you think it's too in particular? That almost sounds too texty.
Bro, I said it already. It's a Shia LaBeouf movie. I'm sure.
Yeah, Seglia actually recognized the quote.
It's a Shia LaBeouf movie. I love it. I love it. Is that like Disturbia?
I don't think it's Disturbia.
You don't have to name.
I think it's Transformers too. Honestly,
it could be Eagle Eye.
You don't have to know the movie. You just have to guess Army Hammer.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Either way, you're wrong. That is A-lister Army Hammer's private DMs.
Oh, he's like a cuck. Too?
No point.
I don't know. I'm more offended by that than the cannibal.
Yeah, I thought you said he was a cannibal.
C-section. Moving on to Jeff. And
how many kinks does this guy have?
Apparently, all of them.
Yeah, you know, it's liquid.
I thought cannibalism was his kink.
Solid.
I think
he has like sub kinks
too.
I only knew the
There's
cannibal
a sub kink
stuff.
to cannibalism.
It's news to me.
You got it.
Sit back, James. You're not in this segment.
I'm moderating with Mark.
There we go. I'd eat your heart if I wasn't stuck without you after. Jeff and M. A-lister
I don't
Hammer
think Army
or
Hammer
movie
would
quote?
care that he's stuck without the person after. I feel like it's a quote. It almost seems too romantic to be old Army. I think he's kind of all business, very sexual and primal.
Yeah, but in support of this being Army Hammer,
Mark, you're an amazing person for this game, Mark.
He does like to talk about how he would eat something, but then qualify it. Like, I think I've seen that before.
He needs to explain
in his quotes. So it could. I'm really on the fence about this, but
torn.
I'll go with your gut on this, Jeff.
We're gonna say movie quote.
Movie quote.
That is incorrect. This is one A-lister Army Hammer.
Adam.
Personal DMs.
Points. I don't get Army Hammer. I just don't get him.
Real quick to the chat.
I didn't get his career, and I don't get this.
Travis87 says, "Why is the team named C-section though, guys?"
I don't know anymore.
Well, you know
how both of them were born.
That's what I was thinking, and it's a coincidence that their names are Chris.
We're a power couple, so we needed a name.
Added a lot more to that.
Davis was very, very, very jealous of the J team.
Absolutely. So it drove him insane.
It drove him insane, and he wanted a team name with somebody named C, or not named C, with a C in his name. So we were the C section, and then we got really drunk one night, and then wrote a rap together.
We did write a rap.
That was my mantra.
Staying in. I would love a live performance of "Staying In" tonight if one of you can find it.
That was so good.
Jonathan James says the C stands for canceled, and then one from Colin Gray. Show just got real kinky, and the Sasha Grey jokes haven't even started yet. There's one for Adam.
That's
a callback.
James's favorite favorite line of jokes. If
I'll
you don't
send
know.
you the photo of that painting from Comic-Con later.
I mean, that was literally a whole Comic-Con. that
was a
one
whole
person
Comic-Con.
took up
Yeah.
the
It
whole
was.
Comic Con.
And now she's a big streamer on YouTube or on Twitch, right? So
Sure.
Yeah,
it's,
she heard us making our jokes, and she decided to take everything that was ours too. So fuck us.
I like to think that we helped her career along.
Oh, she's the one who gets fucked.
Who is this?
Sasha Grey.
Oh.
She was at
all right.
Comic-Con.
Of Entourage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Mark.
Entourage fan.
Continue on, my friend.
Moving on, back to the C section for round 2. No points awarded last round.
Oh, yeah, this game's a big flop.
Here we go. So
That's a
you
quote.
know
That's
me.
from Dark Knight.
So you know me. You know my reputation. 13 inches of tough load. I don't treat you gently. A-lister Army Hammer or creepy
Wait.
movie quote?
I'll eat
Okay.
my hat if that's Army Hammer.
wearing a hat.
I feel like you he's not talking to somebody he already knows, so that's got to be a movie quote, right?
Where the fuck do you find these things?
That is also correct.
Sex.
That is the correct response.
I think we just have to go with
That's a good
Army Hammer
question.
though, because I think all of these are going to be Army Hammer.
Sure, it's on you, Davis.
Okay, we're going with A-lister Army Hammer.
That is incorrect.
Wait, I think I know the
One
movie.
Boogie Nights.
Oh yeah.
Incorrect. No points
Mark,
again.
Adam wanted to steal, even though it's a binary.
I knew that was
choice.
I knew that was Boogie Nights, but you know, as a Paul Thomas Anderson fan, you gotta respect that.
Holy shit!
All right. Now
Damn.
for Jeff and Adam.
I gotta listen to Adam this time. All right.
Listen to Daddy. I want you to take the gun and I want you to put it in your mouth. And I want you to turn around and blow your brains out. Blow your brains out.
You had to say
A
it twice.
lister Army Hammer. Or movie quote.
Mark, I love you.
Maybe the first text wasn't sending right away, and so he panicked, and he's like, "I need her to know. I want her to blow her brains out."
That's what I need to have happen.
My feeling is not Army Hammer because it's like that spoiled meat, right? Like I feel like he
Tainted
wouldn't
meat.
Yeah, like he wants like he doesn't he wants the person live.
He wants it
from what I
fresh
can-
off the bone.
I think he
basically.
wants fresh
Yeah.
from what I can tell. So
Yeah, he
that would
eats
be
it raw.
my guess is movie quote. But what do you think, Jeff?
You know what? We'll go with Adam. Movie quote. Watch this be fucking Army Hammer.
That is correct. This
Oh,
is
thank
from The
God.
Last House on the Left. Good job, you guys.
The remake.
1 point. 1 point on the board.
Gobby with the knowledge.
Congrats.
Oh,
Oh, hey!
Nice, got it. Is it the remake?
I don't know.
Well, I'm actually asking the chat.
How
I
much
don't-
research do you think I did?
I'm surprised you found these quotes.
too much.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah, what did
simply,
you
isn't
search
it?
for?
It's one thing to find the Army Hammer quotes.
My search
but
history
how do you find just the weird
is
movie?
a
I've
wreck.
Mark, I've
You know,
known you for a long
grow-
time. Your search history has never
Is
been
questionable.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, growing up with Mark, actually, it's not that surprising that he's
No.
able to find these.
This is
You know,
actually
not at all.
tame.
Considering Mark is who taught me what a
Oh, the
Houdini
original.
is. So
Moving
I
on.
remember that.
Moving on to round 3. Back to C section. Here we go.
If we
Oh.
miss this, do we lose?
How many rounds is this?
I got
Yeah, really.
plenty. I got plenty.
well,
we'll speed
This is
it up.
actually
We'll
the rest
speed
of
it
the
up.
show, guys.
Yeah,
Rapid
let's-
fire here.
yeah, let's go first to 3.
Okay. If you were next to me, I'd give you the tiniest
First
cut
three.
and then fall back asleep sucking on it. Just a little trickle of your blood, the taste of you, the taste of your iron and minerals, something soothing me to sleep.
That is too upscale for Army Hammer.
Whoa. Are you
Hey,
questioning Armand
Mr.
Douglas Hammer?
Army Hammer or creepy movie quote?
I picked the last one, Segs. I'll trust you on this one.
I'm going with Army. Army Hammer there.
Yeah, I agree with Segs. It sounds like Army.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Hollywood A-lister Army
Well done,
Hammer
Sergio.
wants to suckle on your blood. Who knew?
He cares about the minerals and iron? That's impressive.
Yeah. Why else are you eating the meat? Come on.
Sexual gratification.
Yeah,
I assume.
All right, Mark, you're running
Continuing
the game.
on.
You decide what the victory condition is, Mark.
I think
Do
first
some
to
sort
three is
of
fair.
sudden death, or
First to 3, and then it's sudden death if it's tied. All right.
First to 3
Right.
can't really be sudden death, right?
Well, you get equal shares. You get equal
You get a
shots
rebuttal.
in rounds.
Yeah.
You get a rebuttal. Exactly. All right. So now to Jeff
bullshit
and
lose.
Adam. Jeff and Adam, you think this is abuse? You think this is abuse? You cocksucker. You can't take this. A-lister Army Hammer or creepy Hollywood myth quote?
It's always A-lister Army Hammer.
Can somebody please grab a soundboard of Mark after? Like, these need to go in an archive somewhere.
There will be no archive.
It's all getting flamed.
I don't know. What do you think, Jeff? I'm leaning against Army on this.
yeah, I
but-
feel like it's not Army Hammer.
Oh.
So
okay,
no
we're
Army.
gonna-
We're saying movie quote.
We're gonna do.
You
movie
are
quote.
correct. This is from Glengarry Glen Ross. Good job.
The Wall Street
2
movie?
points. 2 points to Jeff and Adam. Look at this.
All right, Adam.
It was progressing
Killing it.
quickly. 2-1, entering 4th round. Here we go. C-section. There were a few bites where I had to stop myself. I got totally lost in just biting you. I didn't know where I was or what year it was. I was so lost in a crazy white light. A-lister Army Hammer or creepy movie quote?
I want to go with like Interview with the Vampire, Segs. Movie quote.
Sure. I love it.
Sure.
That
It's
has
not
been
Interview with a
correct.
Vampire.
This is from
Yeah.
Hollywood A-listers, private DMs, one Army Hammer.
Who's he DMing? Like
Everyone, apparently.
A slew of
A
ladies.
bunch of blabbermouths, Seglia, because they're sharing it with everybody. Should have ate that bitch when he had the chance.
Never had the shot.
Moving on.
Hey, is this how many girls
Yeah.
is this from?
I don't know. These aren't the important questions or the validity of these statements. We're just having
I
fun.
want to know.
So moving on to Jeff and
It's
Adam.
for the win. It's for the win.
Possibly, yeah. Come on.
A lot of
Let's do
pressure.
it.
What do you need to walk for? You just lay on a pile on the floor, and I'll fuck you whenever I walk past you.
It's lie on a pile on the floor. I mean, I hate to grammatically correct.
A-lister
the
Army
A-lister
Hammer
Army
or
Hammer, but-
movie quote.
my spidey sense is saying Army Hammer. What are you thinking, Adam?
This sounds like it sounds like Human Centipede, but it could be Army Hammer. The fact
Never thought I'd hear that.
The fact that that's possible really is disturbing. What do you think? You're thinking
I'm thinking
Army?
it might be Army. Yeah, I'm
Um,
hoping. I'm hoping we end this with an Army quote. What do you think? If you feel passionate the other way, I'll.
No,
I'll
I
go the
don't.
other
I
way.
don't. Let's go Army.
Please.
That is correct. A-lister Army Hammer's personal DM.
Ooh, for the win.
And for the win, Jeff and Adam, 3 points to C-Sections 1 in Army Hammer's private DMs for creepy movie quotes. Congratulations, you guys.
Would they win?
It's been a good run, guys, but I gotta go now. I gotta end on a high note.
There you go.
It's been
Oh,
real
trust-
BDNS. Stay gold, Pony Boy.
Trust me, Jeff. There'll be more high notes for you in particular.
Otherwise, I would never have agreed to do the show.
I've made sure of it. Mark, thank you so much for putting that together.
There's plenty more quotes to go through.
Cut his video.
Well, the next
Next
time we
quarter.
reboot, keep them safe for the next time we reboot the show. But anyway, that was terrifying, but a lot of fun as well. That was one of the new games from the original run of the show. I think a lot of people were always a big fan of the fantasy drafts, and so I wanted to take some time to relive a couple of those. I'll start with one that I think has gotten sort of the most love over the years in BDNS canon, which was the finale of the first one. So let's start with that. But I actually found just some audio gold thanks to Jeff Budd's notes, which we'll get into more later. But let's start with this.
But is that it? Where's Silver Surfer? And where's the Man of Steel? The surfer is crawling and crying, bleeding his stupid cosmic blood everywhere. As apparently,
That was not what was
As
written.
apparently,
There was no
Superman has
stupid
been
there.
whooping that ass the whole battle.
No!
No, this isn't a bad acid trip, you stupid surfer. You are about to die. Superman then takes that surfboard, shines it up real nice, turns that sumbitch sideways, and sticks it straight up his candy ass.
Exactly how I pictured it.
Oh my god.
You lose, Jeffrey. Everything.
No, the fans lose because they didn't get a real superhero battle.
Honestly, the fans didn't lose.
No, that was actually pretty damn awesome. I really enjoyed that.
I mean, Spider-Man and Superman won, so I mean, I can't be too upset about that. Dude, I remember that quote exactly.
Segley, was that your team that prevailed? I honestly...
It was.
No duh, James. No duh.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
he's the first fantasy winner.
What was your team? It was Superman, Spider-Man...
Professor X, and it didn't matter. Like I forget.
Yeah, honestly,
I
after
completely
Superman
forget.
and Spider-Man, I don't even remember, and it doesn't matter. He had it.
That was
he had great picks.
That was a great team, and a great moment in Best Damn Nerd Show lore, to be sure. But there were other fantasy battles, and when it became time for the villains to do battle, something was birthed on the Best Damn Nerd Show. They definitely got a lot of love, but I think, as maybe not as much as it should have here in recent times. So let's take you back to one of these fantasy villain battles now.
Horus landed planet-side adjacent to Mount Doom, climbing the rocky slopes quickly. Horus discovers Dr. Doom standing above the flames of the fabled mountain.
Quickly! Doom! Throw the ring into the abyss and be done with it!
Dr. Doom turns around slowly, but makes no comment nor gesture to indicate he is going to throw the ring away.
Of course! At the end of the day, even an exceptional man like you is still just a man. I suppose even the fabled willpower of Victor Von Doom is not enough for Sauron's influence. I should have just let the halflings do my work for me. The ring, Doom. I would have it.
Horus steps forward with his hand outstretched. In a flash, Dr. Doom raises up his arm palm open ready to blast Horus away. Quicker than the eye can follow, Horus runs up to Doom and crushes his arm within his steel grasp. With a fluid motion, Horus removes his bolt gun with his other hand and fires several rounds into Dr. Doom's chest. The rounds, cursed by the ruinous powers, cut through Doom's armor like tin. While searching the body for the ring, Horus noticed more circuits and wires than he thought Doom's armor to possess.
A Doombot!
What the Okay. Horus turns around just in time to see
Still
Dr.
plays.
Doom remove the ring of power and obliterate the small piece of rock Horus is standing on.
And there was much joy.
No, there was not much joy. But Best Actor Award to Chris Davis.
Dude, that was incredible.
That is how I will picture Horace speaking from now on when I read any of those.
Wait, can we get the Doombot read again? Can we get a read on that line?
You want a Doombot?
Wait, James, lead up to
You
it.
gotta give me a line, James.
Okay, hold on.
Feed him a line.
While searching the body for the ring, Horus notices more circuits and wires than he thought Doom's armor to possess.
A Doombot!
Can I make it that as my text message alert? That would be awesome.
Dude, what do your roommates think of you, Davis?
They're not home, I think.
That's
I don't really know.
My favorite part, Davis, was when you said the ring Doom. I would have it because it sounded so cool.
Yeah.
How you say it sounded really good.
I actually think Davis would
And
be
that was
a
one of my
good,
favorite
like
lines,
voice actor on a children's cartoon.
Davis,
you really sell those lines.
You're really good, Davis.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I have two gears, gentlemen. I have one, and I have full throttle.
And he lost it.
Right now.
I wish that quote had lived on too.
David is going full throttle.
This is what happens when he doesn't have a script to reference.
I need writing.
Oh my goodness, so good! I'm so glad we found that one more time.
A Doombot!
Have that isolated forever. Davis, how's it feel to hear that again?
I thought those were lost in an abyss somewhere, but it was nice. I was king for a day.
Yeah, you're king for all time. It was
War Master for all time.
It was hard for me to decide what to keep from that and what to cut out, because they're also earlier in that battle, I believe, are playing Cell and doing an entirely different voice. So your voice acting chops, Davis, are something else, man. So
sign me up to all the anime going on, all the animation on Netflix. I mean, they heard it. We got people in that realm, don't we?
Don't sign up for a Kevin Smith show. Though, Davis,
no.
whatever you do. Gabi, who longtime listener, says, BDNS, I gotta go. Love y'all, man. Gonna miss y'all. Wish you the best in whatever y'all have planned. Peace out, fellow nerds. Love you. And right back at you, Gabi, whatever.
We never knew.
One more time. Yeah, we never really quite knew, but we always appreciated you. And
you're always welcome at the Ultra Monthly podcast. Come check it out. Ultra Monthly podcast. Any site you get your podcast from. Go for it.
Jump on now.
My very own brother Jesse says, now I get why this show is ending. I think he said that during the Doombot thing too. I don't know.
Well, maybe because we don't do Doombot anymore.
It could be.
Yeah.
No, I mean that was years ago.
It's a direct correlation of lack of Doombots and the show's cancellation.
All right, I do want to get into some more interactive stuff with us on here, but I mean I do have a couple more surprises and stuff like that, and I do want to pay homage to the history of the show, and when we came back. One of the things that we talked quite a lot about is, how much we've sort of changed over the years, and how I was, really kind of the last bastion of bachelorhood on the Best Damn Nerd Show. Didn't used to be that way. It used to be we were all young and in college and everything like that, having tons of fun, and we got to play around a lot at SF State, and one of the things that I really liked we got to play around is. When we got to hit up star-studded members of the broadcasting department, affectionately known at SF State as Becca. And I don't know if you true believers remember this segment.
Hello?
Congratulations, you just won Becca Hardy of the Week.
I've won what?
Becca Hardy of the Week.
Oh, that's cool. Wait, I have to do what?
You have to take all this out on Nerd.
Are you fucking serious? I am not going to go on a date with all 5 of you. Just don't ever call me again. I don't even know how you got my number.
Becca Hottie of the Week. I had a lot of free time back then.
you produced some fantastic segments. There's some fantastic production elements for those segments, I should say. And this is maybe the number one thing that was sort of asked about, from messages about when we were going to do the finale. Is like, oh, I'd love if you could, do a Becca Hottie of the Week, but maybe, maybe you can't right now. Everybody's married, not me. And so I maybe didn't cast as wide a net as Armie Hammer did, maybe not in the same sort of A-list fashion, but I'll be damned if I wasn't going to do the last Best Damn Nerd Show and give you a Becca Hottie of the Week.
Please tell me we're not calling somebody.
Oh, shit, James is.
Hello?
Hey, Mallory.
Hi. Who is this?
This is James Kincaid from the Best Damn Nerd Show. You don't have my number saved?
Oh, yeah. From Becca? It's been so long. I just, I think I got a new phone or something,
Oh, weird, because you got the same phone number though. I'm good. I'm calling because this is a pretty big deal. But we're actually making you, as a former Becca Hottie of the Week, at the Best Damn Nerd Show, you're going to be the final Becca Hottie of the Week. You Mallory. It's this tremendous honor.
Oh, yeah. Have you guys been doing this whole time?
Yeah. I mean, we took a couple breaks here and there, but I mean, yeah, it's the best damn nerd show. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, you are Becca Hottie of the Week, and as a former winner, I mean, you know what that entails. So you have to go on a date with us nerds.
Oh yeah. I mean, gosh, it's been so long. I almost forgot the qualifications. That's really cute. You guys are still doing that. I mean, yeah, I guess it'd be cool to see the guys and Seglia and John and like you and
well,
yeah, that'd be cool. Like hang out,
Well, I mean, the thing about it is that, like, they're all married, and like that it is supposed to be like a date, so it would just be you and me.
Oh, like a date.
Yeah,
like
well, I mean,
thing?
Yeah, they were all real dates. And it's just I'm the only eligible one left, so it'd be you and me. You were always my Becca crush. So it's like grand romantic gesture. You're the final Becca Hottie of the Week.
It's been like 12 years. I don't even I don't really. Are we friends on Facebook?
I mean, yeah, I was looking at your Facebook right before I called, and I saw that you still lived in San Francisco, so I'm still here. It's like, it's fate, right? It's destiny. Who's still in San Francisco after 12 years, And so yeah, I think maybe we could go back to campus, go to the pub like the old days, have a date,
Well, we could it could be like a platonic hangout over a beer thing.
Well, I don't even know what that means.
For the show, right? Because it's like just for the show thing, right?
No. Like this is like a date, Like I'm asking you out, like
that would be so cool to just we'll catch up over a beer. It'll be we'll talk about us as friends.
Well, what kind of flowers do you like? Because I mean, this is
I don't like flowers. Can't smell anything.
Okay, well, you want to go out for drinks, so I mean that's your call. So I I got about 30 minutes I can give. I'm super busy, and we can catch up. Oh, like speed date.
Oh, like speed hang.
Okay, well Okay, well, so
like speed catch up.
Little busy for the holidays, but maybe next week. What's your availability like?
Let me. This is your number, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll just. How about I get back to you? I'll look at my schedule and I can. We'll figure something out to hang out as friends.
Okay, it's a date.
No, it's not gonna be a date, but I'll talk to you later. Bye. Not a date. Bye.
It's a date.
Hello? You did get the last word in, Jim, so it is technically a date.
So thank you very much to Mallory from Becca, our final Becca Hottie of the week, and so happy we got to do that. She was a great sport. She is honestly doing amazing things with Bloomberg TV. She's actually moving to New York, so the destiny train of
She's
us
actually
both
tied
in
up in your
San Francisco.
apartment right now.
Is that what she told you?
But yeah, thanks very much to Mallory for doing that. I'm glad that we got to do one final Becca Hottie of the week, and I'll let you know how the date goes, everybody. Nobel Prize, Otto. Nobel Prize. So let's get it going.
I still can't believe you guys didn't get shut down over that.
Please
It was a different
tell
time.
me that you called her beforehand and that was fake.
No, it sounded scripted.
Oh, it was totally real. And I believe completely that this will end only well for me. No. Thanks for being a good sport, Mallory. And I'm glad that we got to do a throwback to one of our most fun segments from the SF State days. And thank you, Colin Gray. I didn't know James was such a master pickup artist. Thank you
Neither
very
did we.
much. Let's see.
That was
what
just
it?
as awkward as when we originally did it.
Yeah, I'm trying to be as accurate to the spirit of the long lineage and history of the show as I possibly can be. But
That is Nerd Show.
What?
That is Nerd Show, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's and look, there she is in the chat. It's totally a date.
Still
I think
alive.
That's what that says.
Still alive.
Yeah. I thought Thought I put her phone on airplane mode.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, you got 2 computers in front of you, James? Just working this out?
See, look at this. Greatest honor to be a Becca Hottie. Only two-time, I believe, as well.
It's James texting.
It hasn't been a kind 13 years for her, huh?
See? Look at this. I was right. LOL. Totally a date, James. Yeah. All right, let's move on. But yes, thank you once again. I want to, there are some things that we always thought we would get a chance to talk about on the Best Damn Nerd Show, and we just never got around to it. So I wanted to take some time, and feel free in the chat to throw out some topics that you wish that we had gotten to, and we'll try and do some speed BDNSing right now here. I have a list of some rapid fire topics, and I wanna start with one that I thought we would have gotten to much sooner, but being that it is the 20th anniversary this year of the Lord of the Rings film franchise first coming out, I figured why not start with talking some Lord of the Rings, and just thinking 20 years after Fellowship the movie came out, just sort of your thoughts on the franchise, and the books as well. Just overall Lord of the Rings. Let's nerd out for a few minutes over Tolkien and Lord of the Rings. Jeff, we'll start with you.
Oh, overall, I liked it, James. Let's move along. Keep things.
Hey, true to form to the show as well.
It's very season 1 Jeff answer. Oh no, how much time do we have left? Army Hammer, it's
we took up a lot of time. But I mean, your favorite characters, what you thought of the film franchise. Any standout things about it?
Character in the books and the movies would have been Strider, Aragorn. I also was a big Éomer fan, and I mean, what's his name?
Carl Urban.
Carl Urban, thanks. I guess that's the first time I ever saw. Maybe I saw him on Xena Warrior Princess before that, but yeah, it would be a long love affair of Carl Urban as far as just all of his works and stuff too. I mean, those books, they weren't the first things I read that got me into fantasy, but they definitely solidified my love for it. Those movies, I mean, that's one of the best untouched sequels, and unless you consider the Hobbit movies ruining them.
Yeah, no, and to wit, Jesse says the last franchise not to be ruined. And as we've gone along
Hobbit trilogy.
Yeah, but to me, that's so easily ignored that
couldn't you say the same about Star Wars then, or even Indiana Jones?
Dude, the Hobbit trilogy was a very sore eye of the whole franchise.
It's definitely did not improve it, and I did.
What about Lethal Weapon? That's 4 solid movies.
I did try and go back.
And a series.
Or what about Rocky? Those never got bad. And the Creed movies?
Keeps on going.
Am I the only one who unironically likes all the Rocky movies?
You like Rocky 5?
It has its place.
Yeah, in the dustbin of history. No, thank you.
Tommy Gunn's a cool name, so I get where you're coming from.
Thank you.
Adam, you're
only in America.
The cinephile. Lord of the Rings, the trilogy that I think
He's a what?
Pretty cinephile. He's into movies. He's a human
It's not,
cinephile.
It's nothing related to. I'd say it's nothing related to Army Hammer, if that's what you're. Okay. Movies.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Army Hammer.
Movies, books. What do you got? What'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, I actually just got the. Well, I had to rebuy. Okay, here's the one thing I'm annoyed about. I keep having to rebuy them because they just came out on 4K and all that to rewatch them there. But I rewatched the extended editions recently, and they're awesome. They hold up. I like the second one. Actually, when I saw it in the theater, I had a massive headache for 2 of the 3 hours of the second one. So upon rewatching those, they were better than I remembered them. So yeah,
Adam held that against the movie.
I kind of did.
I wasn't feeling well.
It was a bad headache. You don't understand how bad the headache was.
Segley, how about you? Were you a Lord of the Rings guy?
What's going on? I've been apologizing to Mallory for the last.
Yeah, I know. I thought I blocked your number. We're talking Lord of the Rings. 20th anniversary of the film franchise coming out.
Yeah, they were cool.
Any thoughts?
They were great. Fantastic. Yeah.
All right. Have they aged well to you? Do you rewatch them?
No, never. They were hella long. They weren't my favorite thing of all time, and I know that it's blasphemy around these parts to say that, but yeah, I thought they were cool when they came out. I just don't have the patience to watch a movie trilogy like that anymore. Unfortunately, I can't commit to sitting down and watching 9 hours straight, because that's the only way you can
rewatch
do
them
it.
all the time.
Sounds like you maybe had a headache during the second one as well.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It was more like the third one with the fourth ending.
I
still feel like they missed out on things in the third one. I was like, this needs to be longer.
Yeah, I completely agree.
We're coming from different directions.
I had no issues with the multiple endings. I know that's something that is often maligned about Return of the King. Mark, I want to kick it over to you next, because I have this sort of shadow and a thought of a memory that the first time I saw the Fellowship trailer was actually at your house, I believe on 13th in Pacific Grove. So I don't know if you remember that at all. Probably not. It's fine. No hard feelings if you don't. But it was maybe a fond memory of mine. Were you a Lord of the Rings guy? Somebody earlier in chat thought that, I believe it was Gay Florida Nerd, thinks that you don't like Lord of the Rings.
I saw that trying to drag me through the mud, but never read the books. I enjoyed the movies. The movies were fine. I hated the Hobbits. Hated them. I wanted my money back after the first one. The second one was absolutely garbage. I don't know if we ever finished it, and never even went back for the third. And
third one was the worst. Yeah, Smog. He likes the second one. Smog was all right.
He likes everything.
Sucked. I do. I like
he
everything.
sucked.
That was trash. That was absolute trash. I didn't like it. And I think I'm getting burned out on elves. I'm watching Witcher season 2 right now, and I'm like, elves? Ugh, again? So, I don't know. Lord of the Rings, it was cool for its
killing him
time.
in that one.
When was the last elf you saw before Witcher?
It doesn't matter.
It's probably Lord of the Rings. 20 years ago.
They've had their time. They've had their time. They deserve to be dead.
Davis, did I go to you yet?
No, and God,
I remember.
That's why he
this
was
now.
quiet. He waits until you call on him.
I used to forget, who had already called upon, and sometimes I wouldn't call on anyone at all. Go ahead, Davis.
So I started on the books in high school because I was in a fantasy satire class, and I hated the books.
Sounds awesome.
The class is great, but I hate the books because not only were they forced
because of
upon
all
me,
the words written in them. I get it.
There's a lot of words, but I hate the way those words were written. I don't like his writing style, and I never have. I've tried to go back and read them after I've read more since then, and I just don't like it. It's way too much for me. There's way too much. He gets into these details that seem way over the top, and it takes me out of it when it should be bringing me more into it.
At least the man finishes his stories.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That is
correct.
true. That is
he
true.
doesn't get too lost in the details.
That is why Lord of the Rings will always be superior to Game of Thrones.
The movie experience was amazing because my year in that class was when the first movie came out, and as a field trip we went to the movie as a class, and it was amazing. It was a great experience, and
that's cool.
I always really enjoy the movies. I don't really go back and rewatch them because I don't know why. If they're on TV, I'll put them on, but it's not something
CBS.
it's not something I was like. If it's on Netflix, I'm not like, oh yeah, I need to watch that. Whereas like Dark Knight, I'll probably put that on and just have it in the background. Whereas Lord of the Rings, it's not like one of those background movies I want.
Oh really? Oh man, I'd rather watch Lord of the Rings than Dark Knight.
I put Lord of the Rings on a lot during the heart of the pandemic. I mean, with them being all on like HBO Max and everything, it was just so easy. And I love just having them on while I was working or whatever. There were a lot of things like that or a few different things I should say like that during the past year and a half or so. That was it was just nice to have on. Sort of like I had people over, while we were all isolating. Cowboy Bebop was another one. I will say about the Two Towers, which, Theoden is my favorite Lord of the Rings character. I really love his story arc and everything like that. But in the Two Towers, I don't remember. Adam, did we go see that together? at midnight? Was that us? I know Ryan Kendall, who might be in the chat right now, was there.
I didn't see it at midnight, but I'm sure we saw it in the same theater.
He was with me. Mark, you might have been with me, but there was this other nerd that we did not know that we ended up chatting with after the movie about what we thought. And this might be the little genesis of the James Kincaid hates everything worm, which I actually really liked the Two Towers, but what I did not like about it at the time was, as I referred to him, Jar Jar Gimli. Because I did not like the excessive comedy that I felt that they were foisting upon Gimli during serious parts of the movie, and so I referred to him as such, and I remember that guy that we did not know completely didn't get what I was saying, just said, there's no connection between Jar Jar Binks and Gimli, and walked away. But that was the sort of the start of, I guess, maybe how I critique things and could sort of be misconstrued as me not liking things. I like stuff, and I love The Lord of the Rings. I like lots of stuff.
Yeah, you liked it so much you were already complaining about it before the trilogy was complete.
It was a minor critique, or so I thought. All right, next topic. We gotta keep them coming here.
Tom Bombadil.
Yeah, no, we did not get Tom Bombadil in the movie. So,
I gotta say it.
But I understand.
Do you even know Tom Bombadil?
Tom Bombadil. It's good, man.
All right, next topic, The Sopranos. Marco, we'll start with you.
Nothing nerdier.
But I mean, this ties directly in from Lord of the Rings, because you've been sending me some choice memes, Jeff, that are Lord of the Rings, Sopranos tied together. But
it's a perfect amalgamation. I don't know why it works, but it does.
It does. Just your overall thoughts on the series, Marco, and then they're trying to sort of revive it with the prequel. I don't know if you watched it.
Did watch it. Had a entire Sopranos party for the watching, where we picked up a bunch of gabagool and pastries and made a baked ziti, and the movie was whack. So spoilers. It did not live up to all the hype. It just kind of was a bit of a failure to launch of like exactly what it was supposed to be. I felt like it tried to cram in too many fan service pieces. Having just come off of watching The Sopranos again in the pandemic, which I think a lot of people did, which was really cool that Sopranos seemed to have this kind of big resurgence, at least in a lot of my networks where people are quoting it, and the meme game with Sopranos has been really on point the last few months. So it's been absolutely delightful, but man, did that movie fall short for me.
Yeah, Many Saints of Newark. Whatever happened there?
I still haven't seen it.
It's do yourself a favor and don't watch it. I'll tell you what my problem is. It's not even the fan service shit. It's the inconsistencies and things that aren't right. Like, we have a pretty established lore and canon as far as what goes on in The Sopranos, what age certain characters are, characters that should be involved in different things, and like they're either not there, the ages are wrong, all that shit. Like, Syl is only like a year and a half older than Tony. And he's like the same age as Paulie. Paulie was too young. Syl was too old. I don't want to get into it too much, but it was an awful prequel.
And
I hope that they don't do anything else. Just do the show. The show is fine.
Yeah, when you revisit all these years later. Interscope C, thank you for the donation. You know, you're right.
I'll
up there.
take my take.
Yeah,
$4.99.
I think that goes directly into Adam Zika's bank account as executive producer. So hopefully,
split that up, Adam. I need that money to eat.
We'll put that towards our next Comic-Con trip. Thank you very much, Interscope C. But overall, I guess, Jeff, where does The Sopranos rank for you as far as shows that you've enjoyed?
Oh shit. I mean, it's up there. I rewatched it this year, just like Mark was talking about. I was really into the Talking Sopranos podcast, which just ended this last Monday. So the BDNS just slightly outlived it. But I stopped listening to Talking Sopranos because they did an entire episode where it was just a promotion for the Many Saints of Newark, and it was nothing but interviews with the different actors and crap like that. I was like, I don't care. I mean, am I glad that James Gandolfini's son played young Tony? I mean, it's fine. Like, but I don't personally give a fuck, you know?
Yeah.
In terms of like shows that I've enjoyed, I feel like I've appreciated it more now than back then. Back then, I used to think Oz was a better show. Oz is not a better show. And then like drama shows, I think I still like The Shield more on FX. FX had a lot of good shows.
Yeah. Marco, how about you? You guys are my Sopranos guys that I'm leading on here. Where does it rank for you?
Yeah, Mark and I love talking Sopranos alone.
Yes, that's right. That's us. Via meme, mostly. I think the best part with the going through the series again is I found my local Gabagool spot.
That's a great spot,
Gabagool.
too. Mark took me there. Loved it.
Delightful.
Forget about it.
Yeah. Fucking fresh cuts in the fridge. I love it. It's probably the best part of The Sopranos.
Mark and I just sitting there with our wife beaters on, just eating the shit straight out of the
Just
fridge.
sweating.
Mark slapped his wife right in front of me. I didn't say shit.
It makes the meat taste better.
Oh my god. All right. Well, on that note, we'll leave Tony and company right there until next time.
I ain't
See you
saying
next
nothing.
time. Another one, and this perhaps the most talked about episode of the Best Damn Nerd Show that never happened, and we even talked about it, during the reboot that it would happen, and that is Batman the Animated Series. And I think for me, I propped it up so much that I wanted to make sure that we did it right and did it justice, that just never ended up doing it at all. So completely blew up in my face. But Batman the Animated Series is, it's right. Probably my favorite, at least animated show of all time. X-Men right up there with it as well, Frisky Dingo and some others that we might even talk about tonight. But Batman the Animated Series, I just think is still such a triumph. I think it holds up today, going back and rewatching it. I think it's the greatest Batman adaptation of all time. Davis, your thoughts? Any favorite episodes or thoughts on Batman the Animated Series?
I wouldn't say it's just overall. Again, it's just like X-Men. It's up there. I mean, it's top 3 for me too, and it still holds up. I still go back and watch it to this day. I mean, the animation, you can definitely tell it was from that time. It's a little slower, but it still holds up, and I think it just portrays the characters so well, and the voice acting just nails it on every level, and so it's hard to beat. We got some of these newer animated DC Batman movies where, you got Man-Bat and all the things that we were put through Comic-Con, and we have them to compare to the animated series, and it just doesn't, you can't put them up against that because it's just too well written. Some of the stories are just too good. And I just don't think we're going to get a better Batman animated series. Maybe property to begin with.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get a better Batman property at all. Jeff, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, because I think the other animated series that they've done, the Batman Brave and the Bold, like those are good shows. But yeah, the animated series is just the animated series. The Sewer King, I think we can all agree, is one of the greatest characters in Batman's Rogues Gallery.
No,
I mean, he's so vile. He's so vile. Batman did not give a shit when he thought he died. That's how disgusting. Batman tries to save the Joker's life. He did not care that the Sewer King was eaten by his alligators, but those are his babies. They would never turn on their daddy.
Damn Sewer King. Marco, were you a animated series guy?
Absolutely loved it. Could not get enough of it. I've rewatched the series a couple of different times in my life. I've been trying to get my eldest on board with it. Hit or miss so far. Need a little more indoctrination.
Well, she likes the DC girls or whatever that's called, right?
Loves DC superhero girls. Loves Teen Titans Go. So hey, she can call out all the characters when she sees them. She big fan of the old '60s Aquaman series, the old animated Aquaman show that's on HBO Max right now.
Strange
Lots of
flex,
gold
but
in
all
there.
right. We'll
I know,
accept it.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, BTAS was phenomenal, and it really does set the standard for DC animation. I feel like I am a fan of most of the DC animated movies that have spun out of that. I mean, it introduced us for Harley Quinn as a character, Clock King as a character. Lots of great stuff in there. And if anyone else was big fans of the show, I know our man here, James, loved the Gray Ghost. episode, which was such a
Absolutely.
beautiful episode. The guy that put that little ditty together also worked on the Ultra Force cartoon, and Jeff and I talk about that on Ultra Monthly Podcast. So
Where can they find
it?
that?
Check it out. We just did
just dropped
one of our
for your
last
show.
episodes. Our last episode we put out was about an episode that he penned. Just saying.
Where can people find the Ultra Monthly
Everywhere
podcast?
podcasts are found: iTunes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google.
How can they contact you if they want to participate in the conversation?
Well, you can jump on now the conversation at ultramonthlypodcast@gmail.com. Send them in, boys.
You got
Nice.
forums?
I remember when James was listing his favorite animated series and he did not mention Ultra Force. Food for thought.
It is certainly food for thought. Mark, I wanted to before I pivot to either Adam or Seglia if they have any thoughts on the animated series. But Mark, you have the joy of joys alongside me in getting to meet the voice of Batman, Kevin Conroy. How was that experience for you?
Rub that in my face, you son of a bitch.
I thought this was sentimental. You
Yeah.
piece of shit.
We're doing good work. We're pre-writing out questions. James and I are in the media room working on like this interview set to meet the cast for, I believe it was for The Killing Joke, and one of the first interviews we get is for Conroy, and I'm helping out my boy here. I am filming him field the questions, and he references me as cameraman. Conroy was not impressed. Didn't even get to shake the dude's hand. Not even a hey, what's up, or eye contact. Love that guy, James.
Oh my God! Sorry, Mark.
Like,
I made up for it by getting you that
Great
comic book
question.
signature, though. Yeah, what was your question again that you had me ask?
It was about doing musicals because he happens to be an avid singer. It was a great question.
How do you know that as a cameraman?
Because I do my research.
That was Conroy's question.
Journalist.
Why is the cameraman addressing me?
He's like, I know a question from the cameraman when I hear it.
Oh my God. Adam or Seglia, did you have any Batman the Animated Series memories growing up? Were you guys fans?
I'll shoot first. I remember watching it like after school as a kid. I haven't gone back and rewatched it. I remember 2 episodes came to mind. I mentioned one to you before, James, which is Perchance to Dream, which definitely I remember very well. And then the other one was the Clayface. I don't know if it's a 2-parter or a 3-parter, but
I think it was 2-parter.
It's a 2-parter. I remember that one was awesome too. So I have fond memories. Haven't gone back and watched it, but I might give it a look.
I think it holds
There's
up
only one
pretty
bad
well.
episode, right? The you know which one I'm thinking of. Bruce with his
where
amnesia.
Bruce goes undercover and like the work camp and stuff
work
like that.
camp,
That's actually where I thought you were going when you brought up the Sewer King. My
I was like,
mind
this. Oh, you
defaulted
thought
to-
I thought Zeke would bring that one up. I was
My-
like,
my
I don't know. It
mind
seems like an Adam
defaulted
episode.
to- I feel like they showed that episode way too much too. Like I feel like it was always on for some reason. It's like get out of here. Like What is this, Night of
Barely
the
dressed
Sentinel?
as Batman. Why would a child want to watch this?
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Travis in the chat. He says, I met Kevin Conroy twice. Autograph and selfie at Los Angeles Comic-Con, Silicon Valley Comic-Con in San Jose. So cool. That's awesome, Travis. Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
Maybe the problem's
It
with
was
Mark
great getting
then,
to
because
meet
he
him.
has a lot of stories like that.
Yeah,
it was great getting to meet him.
James, we went to Rancho San Antonio. Was it Rancho?
Rancho Obi-Wan.
Rancho Obi-Wan in Silicon Valley.
That's right.
Fond memories about.
Yeah, absolutely. We had that really awful Wolverine cosplayer as well at Silicon Valley Comic-Con. Welcome. Welcome.
Cheers.
John Craig.
Getting crowded.
I had to get my coffee and my my muffin.
Agent of the... You know what? We're doing all the things right on Best Damn Nerd Show tonight. Technical difficulties, cringy humor, John's late putting himself before the pod.
What's up, friends?
This is great.
How's everybody doing?
We're doing great. I'm happy you're here. Agent of the Kieran Tor, Hall of Fame cyber athlete, Jonathan Craig. How are you?
Good. How are you guys? I see the chat. Hi, everybody in chat.
I didn't know what the Kieran Tor was for years when that was John's title.
Well, it wasn't. It is now. It is a bit of a secret. It is a bit of a secret society, so I don't blame you for that.
I didn't know until I saw the Warcraft movie.
Only
the
elite
Kieran
know.
Well, we're running down topics that we never got to do whole episodes on here, and we can just quickly.
So, is this just an episode about you finding love then?
You missed
that
John,
part,
Justin.
John, you missed.
He has finally.
I've been
A
apologizing
final-
for the last 45 minutes.
A final Becca Hottie of the week.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mallory, a 2-time honoree. So you missed that. You have to catch that wherever we're allowed to upload this. But yeah, we're running down sort of topics that we never really had the chance to get to. John, since you got here, we never did, to my knowledge, do a full episode on Battlestar Galactica. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't believe so.
Certainly not during this run. But just Battlestar Galactica was something that caught on like wildfire, with us personally. I believe first with you and Tim is my recollection of it. Jeff, maybe you were already watching as well. I don't remember.
I wasn't watching as consistently as them, but I had roommates who were watching, so I used to check episodes there. Also, they used to play it in the dining hall back at State. I watched it was like Gaius on trial or whatever for his for his treachery. That was like the first episode I watched. I had no idea what was going on, but I liked it.
Tim and I worked at Jamba Juice together, and our manager insisted that we watch it, and so that was like the early days of Netflix sending DVDs out, and so we would like order the DVDs, watch whatever 2 or 3 episodes that are on a DVD, and have to send it back and wait like a week to get the next couple episode. Brutal way to watch TV. Horrible way to binge something for sure.
Looking back on Battlestar Galactica, just sort of, where does it stand with you, the themes, like how did it sort of, make an impact with you?
It made a huge impact. I rewatched it. I made Kristen watch it like a year ago, and she loved it too, mostly because it didn't have aliens, and she didn't think that she liked sci-fi until she watched Battlestar.
Watched the original Hatch one with the alien references.
Yeah, to me, like it had enough. It has enough like political intrigue to be entertaining for people who are not necessarily strictly sci-fi fans, but it also has plenty of great sci-fi elements and philosophies and thoughts to it. So yeah, I don't know, all around great show. I love it still.
Jeff, how about for you? And I mean, please feel free to bring up the board game as well.
Yeah, I mean or not the original series, but the series that John was just referencing, the one from the early 2000s, wasn't it recognized by the United Nations as far as just its political commentary and things about like the war on terror, how you treat POWs, things like that. I mean, and that's really what science fiction is supposed to be about. It's taking those political arguments and putting it like in a different sphere where either it's more easily digestible for readers, or it's more interesting that way, or it's easier to kind of touch on those subjects without people having their personal defenses up, because it's in a world that we don't already have like our political affiliations. I loved the series once I started watching it. I rewatched a little of it during the beginning of lockdown with COVID and everything like that, so it was good to revisit it again. I love the board game. It's one of I think the best designed board games I ever had, where it really captures the spirit of the show. I've played with most of you guys. I know that, and you guys have played even on your own. I forget who else owns a copy of it. But, I mean, I think I've played with John more than anybody out of people here on the show, just because we lived near each other.
It's
when
also
I had it.
I don't know like the timeline on the releases, but it's like Secret Hitler before Secret Hitler. Where instantly everyone's accusing each other, everyone's suspicious, you don't know whose team is who's on. Like,
Secret Hitler came much later, and it definitely took like that piece of Battlestar Galactica. I think the only board game that existed before that is Shadows over Camelot, which is basically the exact same game.
Or like Mafia, which isn't really a board game, but it's like a
like a party game or something like that.
Sure, yeah.
I've never played it, but But I mean, it really has to do with like all the different spaces of Galactica. It has to do with who's a Cylon, who's not a Cylon. As with the expansions that came out, it becomes even much more complex, because even if you're technically on the same team, human or Cylon, you may have different motivations. So there's like Cylons who it's in their best interest to help humanity, and then humans that are kind of in it for themselves. I mean, very much like how the series went. I mean, that's how it went. Because I mean, Gaius was a human the entire time, and he was someone that you really could not trust until maybe towards the end. He did a lot of good things, but like for the
Well,
wrong
I was
reasons.
gonna say that
Yeah.
was, I feel like that's one of the first shows I remember watching where like it makes you sort of question your opinions about characters that you thought were evil or characters that you thought were good. Like it sets them up and then makes you question it later on, and then it'll sometimes make you question it again. But it's also one of the first shows, like having met you guys all in college, it was one of the first shows where I realized like how much James will identify with like a character in a movie or show or book or something, and like claim parts of their identity as his own.
I'm not denying it.
I just can't believe how adamantly you stand against Hilo, because I feel like you're such a Hilo guy.
You really are.
Don't get me
Hilo,
wrong. I
dude.
mean, I love. There's like 3 characters I just absolutely love. Gaius Baltar. What's Apollo's actual name?
Leodama.
Leodama, and then Carl Agathon, Hilo. One of the first episodes I ever watched the entire way
James still
through
hates Hilo.
was Hilo investigating the doctor who actually was like sabotaging the healthcare of the Sagittarian colonists or whatever. Like that was great. I thought that was a great episode. Hilo to me was the one who was like most. He's the guy who, like Captain America, he drew that line in the sand, and it's like, no, you move. There were so many times where it's like, no, this is my ideology, and I am not going to change it just based on whatever we're saying is the immediate threat at this time. And I mean, I thought he started off so strong too, where he gave up his seat for Gaius Baltar, because it's like, you're one of the greatest minds of the human race. You need to live on. Where, I mean, Hilo's not a bad guy, but he's like, I'm just a pilot. It's like, you are more important than me. And he made that decision. I thought that was insane.
James is hating this. I'm looking at his eyes as he's hearing you compare him to Captain America. I love it.
That's why James can't counter it too much. He's like, I hate Hilo. Oh, but if Hilo's the Captain America of Battlestar Galactica, I am Hilo? What's going on? A real crisis of identities here.
What I can't stand is it's the most major sort of decision that Hilo fucks up, and I understand it for continuing the show, but I still disagree with not eliminating the Cylon threat with the virus or whatever it was. And
that is a man who would never commit genocide, though.
Yeah, again, to me, they're machines, so I don't think you can commit genocide.
All right, but
against a
what's
machine.
a machine and what's a sentient?
I think Hilo was the first one.
Intelligence.
Hilo was the first one, except aside from maybe Gaius, although in a totally different way, that started viewing the Cylons in a different way.
Yeah,
like he was stuck on the planet. He had no choice but to do it for his own survival.
Yeah, well, because he was sleeping with one of them.
Yeah, but I mean it did make him see it.
Oh, no wonder you don't identify with Hilo.
Got him. Davis, you got any BSG thoughts or Mark or Adam?
It's we brought up the board game, and we had one night.
You fucked me, Mark.
You fucked me.
Oh, that was a great night. Yeah.
Well,
fucked me.
I don't know if you're even referencing that one.
It's not. It's not even that night.
Oh, wow.
It was me, John, Tim, and somebody else. And James might have been there. No,
I think I was.
Because
Tim is a Cylon.
Tim is a Cylon.
He's a Cylon synthesizer, if nothing else.
Yeah.
First time we ever played this game, and Tim, of course, is going to play Gaius Baltar because he loves Gaius.
His guy. Yeah.
That's his man. And he pulls a Cylon card. He's a Cylon. But because Gaius wasn't a Cylon, he refused to play that way. And so so we won like super easy. It was like that.
Gaius Baltar. That's the problem.
Because he was like, I'm this character. This is what he would do. And therefore, I will not play as a Cylon. And
I respect it.
We didn't actually get a real experience of the game for the first time, and it was super angering. I remember being so mad because I just wanted a real experience of that game because Jeff talked it up so much.
The first time I ever played it, I didn't get a great experience either because I played as Gaius Baltar, and so I was president because I was second in line, and there was somebody else I played with who absolutely did not trust me only because I was Gaius Baltar. Not anything that I did. He just did not trust the character, and so he did everything he could to
sounds
put me in the
reasonable.
brig, and it's just humans.
Well, it was a
ended up getting
tremendous
completely
performance
fucked.
in the show, so I can't fault him for it. You know, like taking one look at
Also,
guys.
great season 1 Arrow character. Oh fuck, I forget his name, but he was
It's
great
like
character.
the Artful Dodger or something.
Artful
like that.
Dodger, that was what it was. Yeah, he was so fast moving.
I just remember like my first time playing it was over at Davis's apartment, and my wife
Comic-Con.
gets on the phone and starts yelling over the phone that Mark's a Cylon, Mark's a Cylon, Mark's a Cylon, and then that turned all of you guys against me, and I was not throwing me in the brig. Then James fucked me.
You know
I'm
what was
sorry,
great?
Mark.
Was there were no? Was there even a Cylon in the first?
I don't
think
think
there
there
was a
was.
Cylon in the first round. But James was such a distrustful bitch that's what screwed us over in the first place. He was against me and my admiralty at the time, and it's like, yeah, you completely.
I was
fucked us.
mistrustful
And then
of
Davis and I
everybody.
ended up becoming Cylons in the second round. It's like, thanks, James. Thanks for this victory.
And the irony as it came full circle this past year when we were playing the Thing board game, which is sort of similar in terms of the infected effect, I trusted Jeff implicitly more than anyone else on the board, and he was the Thing.
It's so reminiscent. I don't know if John even remembers this time that we played it, but there was a time when John, my girlfriend at the time, and I were playing Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
And John just refused to believe that I was the Cylon, which I was. And my girlfriend
was so mad.
She was pleading with John. She's like, he is sabotaging everything.
Look.
Please. And John was just like, nah, I just don't believe it. And then when I finally revealed myself, like, John wasn't even pissed. He was just like, really? like
I mean,
had
look,
betrayed
some
him.
swords you're willing to die on, you know?
Yeah.
The J
And
team
she-
overall.
The words that came out of her mouth.
She was
towards
very
John.
She was very upset.
The profanities.
It reminds me though of being in Vegas playing Secret Hitler with you guys.
That was so much
Just
fun.
how passionate and accusing and angry everyone was almost immediately. Like it didn't. I don't even think people fully comprehended the rules before they just started getting angry at each other.
It was just great to scream at each other, and I mean,
and when you can shoot
God
the gun
forgive
and
me, I'm
kill
glad I got
people.
to be Hitler the last time.
Basically, these board games are just a vessel to yell at people. Like that's really what they're designed for.
Healthy venting, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we can't bring up Battlestar Galactica without bringing up Richard Hatch and what Richard Hatch has meant to the long history of the Best Damn Nerd Show, and you know, nerd culture overall. Obviously, he was in both versions of Battlestar Galactica, but as we got to know him through going to Comic-Con and him sort of holding the line for Battlestar Galactica, keeping the torch lit, I think one more time, you know, for the final interval, we should talk about the genesis and the enjoyment of the Hatch jokes and everything therein. So whoever wants to start, I have like a 10-minute compilation queued up, but I figure that might put you guys to sleep. So I figure I would
Post
let
that
you-
later.
Yeah, you know, whatever. I'll edit it in post. There you go. There's everyone take a drink. But so if who wants to start in terms of what you remember about the Hatch jokes and how they started and just Hatch the man. And Jeff, I know probably you'd probably be the best one to start us off here.
I mean, yeah, Richard Hatch, he played Adama or Apollo in the first series, and then he played Tom Zarek in the sequel series. He really was that lone torchbearer for the Battlestar Galactica property. He was the guy who was always there representing what I thought was a huge sci-fi property, but it really was like on his shoulders for years to make sure that it was kind of continued to be on the forefront of nerddom. I don't know why we started those jokes with him. Maybe it was because the panel was so just ill-equipped and poorly
It's kind
functioning.
of like the start of the show tonight.
Yeah, and it's how we began like the 2012 Comic-Con, which was great. It was Davis's first one. It was like, you know, John's and yours like second or third one. You know, it's like it was so much fun. It was so like BD&S almost. You know what I mean? It's like Richard Hatch just flying in the seat of his pants. It's like he doesn't know who's going to show up. He's just sort of asking like real open Q&A with the audience as far as like, well, what would you like to see in a Battlestar Galactica movie or sequel or anything
I think
like
the
that.
reality is that there's something like as much as like we do respect his work and him as an actor, like there is something very tragic about the guys who are always available for conventions.
And I mean, that was his
schedule. and he is that guy. He is that guy. So I think it's like you joke to like cover the tragedy. You know what I mean?
Well,
and I think that's where it was born from, and then it just
it was
basically
the Dirk Benedict story. Honestly, where a lot of it came from, because he's telling this story about how Dirk Benedict, like he's alluding to the fact that Dirk was who played Starbuck in the original, and right.
Yeah, and Face in the A-Team, yeah.
Yeah, so he's like alluding to, Dirk had all these women coming in and out of his trailer, thinking that he's telling stories about, him being this ladies' man. And then the punchline of the whole thing is he's giving them free lunches in there. He's making them lunch in his trailer. And like Hatch was like so jealous of the fact that he wasn't getting the free lunch. And look, I get it. We've all had con food. Both the quality and the price are not ideal. It wreaks havoc upon your body after a whole week. But that was sort of the birth of, I feel like the first sort of salvo of Hatch jokes was talking about the fact that he was always on the lookout for a free lunch. And I will never forget. I mean, the details are sketchy, but the feeling will never leave me. All of us in the hotel room sitting in that like circle, just topping, constantly one-upping one another as the Hatch jokes kept spiraling and spiraling. I forget who had to go to the airport. It might have been Davis and John.
Davis was taking...
I had to leave too.
Or John was taking Davis to the airport and then was driving up to L.A., and you and I were spending a couple more days at the con. And so you and I were sitting down and watching them pack up. And we were just shooting the shit and telling the jokes. And then they just gravitated towards us once they were done. And I mean, I really do feel it's one of the greatest moments in BDNS history. And I wish that entire conversation was recorded. Because I don't think I've ever felt as in sync with any of you as I did with just that hot potato of Hatch
shitting
jokes.
on Richard.
It was ridiculous.
I don't think I've ever felt as in sync with another human being, and we were all
It was a hive mind.
We were in our Jaegers and we were kicking some kaiju ass, man. Like it was unbelievable just how like you said in sync we were, and it was to the point where I knew you guys had to leave and none of us wanted to break the spell.
Yeah.
And end it. And none of it was mean spirited about Richard. The years the Best Damn Nerd Show, like we have always loved the jokes. I love that. I forget who it was. I believe it was Johnny, one of our listeners, that was the one that went to another convention and offered him a sandwich or something
classic.
like that, which is I think the first sort of
Hashtag.
moment. Yeah, the hashtags. It's like the first moment is like, wow, like somebody actually took one of our jokes and like ran with it in real life. Like that is insane to me. But coming
of all
to
the jokes, let it be that Hatch joke. That was one of my favorite moments, I think, as far as something from a listener. That was just classic.
Yeah, absolutely. And, again, and then the sort of more serious side of it is that he was that torchbearer for Battlestar Galactica and really did care and give a damn about what the fans had to say and everything like that. So, it's definitely appreciate him for that. It was sad that, some of that wasn't appreciated until it was too late and he died, and it's too bad because he was the one keeping the lights on for a great property.
And then, COVID's kind of screwed things up, but there was a convention after the convention that he passed, and I don't think there was anything for Battlestar Galactica. So, it just proved how important he was as far as to that property goes. They had the BSG panel right after he had passed, and it was really touching what everybody said. But I thought the more touching panel was for that small indie movie that he had done a role in, and all of the actors and the director, they all had very nice stories to say about just their work with Richard Hatch. And all of the jokes really did come from a place of love. We were all legitimate fans. I'm glad that James and I actually got to meet him face to face, get that picture. I definitely made sure that was a part of my slideshow for my wedding, that I wanted Richard Hatch to be present at my wedding. And that, God damn, I miss him so much. Like he was terrific.
I absolutely love that.
I can't think of anybody else I would have rather.
I mean,
met at
there's something to
Comic-Con.
be said for people who like realize the moment that they're in nerd culture and like embrace it rather than getting frustrated with the fans for criticisms that they might have or whatever. Like realizing that if you embrace it and you listen and you like embody it and respect it, you can have people that are fans of yours for life, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else got anything for Hatch or BSG before we press on here?
So I just remember my first experience with it.
Oh, I do too.
First Comic-Con.
Yeah, you critical son of a
and
bitch.
You guys blew
WonderCon,
this
you
up.
bastard.
That like this is tradition. We have to go see Richard Hatch. He's amazing. He's amazing. We got to go to this panel. This is my first time in. This is all these heavy crowds, all this cool stuff I could be looking at, and I say, "Sure, guys. Why would you lead me astray?" And we go up to this
And we
panel,
did it, you
and he's just there on the dais by himself.
He's always there.
like they're late. Oh, they're in traffic or whatever. No one ever came.
That's the
And at
line
this
he
point,
uses
I'm
every
like,
year.
Hatch panel.
We
That's exactly
came,
what it's
Mark.
supposed to be.
That's
Any
why
minute
we
now.
made sure to go.
And I hadn't
Any
watched the
minute now they're
series
gonna
yet.
show up.
I hadn't watched BSG yet, so I'm just like, I have no frame of reference for this guy.
I don't even think
and
you
who's
have to watch
pleading with
BSG
the
to
audience.
appreciate Hatch.
I left.
I think that first
I
one is
left.
when he started kicking out, ideas to fans and what stuff that they wanted to see. And
I remember
things
seeing
that.
like clips of his own like fanfic Star Trek movie or something.
Yeah, Prelude to Axanar.
There.
Yeah,
it is.
he played a
Yeah.
Klingon.
Sure.
Best Klingon ever.
Sure, this guy says.
Oh my god!
But I did end up falling for him beyond that after watching through the series and
How could you not?
fun
Charming,
appreciation. Yeah.
Maybe my favorite birthday greeting on Facebook ever is courtesy of Jeff Budd, which is just a photo of Richard Hatch with two salads in front of him. He's just doing double thumbs up. We're eating good, boys. We're eating good. We're all systems go right now. And so say we all. Rest in peace, Richard Hatch. And I think my favorite enduring sort of best damn nerd show meme or through line, whatever you want to call it, are the Hatch jokes, the Hatch tags. And God, yeah, that moment. I wish I could travel back in time and just be a fly on the wall and watching us do our thing. It's just it was incredible. And we had a lot of fun doing the Best Damn Nerd Show proper. We've had a lot of different sort of spin-offs and everything like that throughout the years. And I know a big-time favorite of Jeff Budd's was movie night. So I want to take some time and relive some movie night memories as well. And this is very much so going to involve the executive producer, Adam Zika, who maybe the most havoc he wreaked upon the Best Damn Nerd Show came in movie night. But let's start with you guys having a little fun at my expense.
This is for the movie night, though. He just goes, all right, we're back at movie night.
Here's movie night.
All right.
Back, it's movie night.
That's
We're doing the thing. That's the intro.
That's how you guys hear me.
So, you want me to cut that? Just keep going.
Wow. Welcome back to Movie Night, everybody, with the Best Damn Nerd Show. I'm James Kincaid. These are my shithead podcast mates, who I used to call friends. Professor Chris Davis.
Ah, it's a movie night. Ah.
Wow, all right.
When has James ever sounded like that?
Thank you, John.
Agent of the Kieran Tor, Jonathan Craig.
Hey, yo.
I was really excited to do this. And Imperial Commissar Jeff Budd.
And we're back at movie night.
Welcome to the movie night.
You guys sound like the Coneheads. Is that the movie we're doing?
No. Anyway,
yeah, that's the one I watched. Let's do.
I'm really embarrassed because I went to go see What's Your Number this weekend, and it looks like that's not what we're doing.
Oh.
And you were alone in the theater and actually really upset about having to see it.
Ferris and I don't know his name, Captain America. They were awesome together. I really enjoyed it. I'm just gonna call him Steve Rogers from now on.
Why did you go see that?
Was he in that?
I have a girlfriend.
Touche, good sir.
Yeah, it's like I was able to play with my Magic the Gathering cards this weekend, and it's like, well, there's another side to that coin. I was went to go see What's Your Number.
So yeah, you guys like to have a little bit of fun at my expense, but here is another movie night moment that I will always remember, and I think Davis will too.
And we do have one more week of horror movie nights, gentlemen, and I do have an announcement, a surprise for everyone in the Best Damn Nerd Show.
Ooh.
Just like any good horror villain, when you think they're gone, they come back.
Uh-oh.
The movie night isn't going to be picked by Jeff,
shit.
John, Davis, or me, or Seglia, or Tim.
No.
Yeah.
Don't let him do it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't let him do it.
Adam Zika is
dear.
picking the next movie. And it is
Last movie night, we chopped him up into a bunch of pieces and sent him in different countries.
True Evil Can Never Die. God damn you, Adam. The movie is Fred 2, Night of the Living Fred.
No.
Just in time for the October movie nights. That's so fucking classic Zika.
In Adam's defense, best of the Fred trilogy.
I have a question for Mark. I heard that last year, you got a Secret Santa gift. Oh hey,
Yes.
And that you were graced with the entire Fred trilogy. How did you like them? Obviously, you watched them.
I'm gonna cherish that so much. I have to leave it in its packaging.
It's a
Yeah.
collector.
Stinky
It's right
Pete
there with-
philosophy. I can't open the goods. I gotta
It's right there
collect
with zombie bacon.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you have to buy a second
Mint
set to
in
watch it.
package.
it. Mint in package. Don't want to lower the value of that great collection there.
Oh my god! Well, so the Fred movies. Adam, do you have a favorite movie night that you forced us to watch? Do you have a particular? Is it Gamebox 1.0? It cannot be. I veto Mummy Mania. Like that. That is
Mummy
without
Maniac.
that or whatever it was. That was unfucking watchable.
Well,
Adam and I were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, Jeff reminded me that it's a lost episode.
Oh, is that true?
It never got.
God,
I sat through that entire fucking movie and it never made it on.
A lost episode of movie night, huh?
Yes.
Never heard that one before.
Yeah, so Segway, I hadn't even thought about that. I didn't even have the lost episodes on my list. But yes, Seglia, we did do a movie night of Three Ninjas.
All right, I'm out. It's not Three Ninjas. It's Surf Ninjas.
Surf
you piece
Ninjas.
of shit.
Kwanzaa, dude.
I can see how it got
dude.
lost.
Money can't buy knives, dude. We did Surf Ninjas.
We did Surf Ninjas.
This was
we
fun.
did,
I'm outta here, bye.
Hey,
Real
Seglia,
Genius.
if you're taking
Yeah.
off.
I was kidding, but I actually
okay.
do have to go.
Okay, well.
Segway was always this close to leaving because of the shit that you did with Surf Ninjas.
So, we did do Surf Ninjas, but before you go, just any parting words you would like to offer.
Thanks to the fans. Honestly, without you listening, it would just be a bunch of us just talking randomly to each other and
Yelling at each other.
yelling at each other and screaming at each other for no particular reason, because that's what James just does to people. But I truly appreciate you guys, friends for life for sure. And as far as the panelists, you guys are my homies, dude. We're bros.
I miss you. C-section for life.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for the memories. And we're going to continue the show. It's just whenever we're around each other, it's just going to happen. So,
It's just going to happen organically.
Yeah. Colin
It's
Gray.
who we are.
People are going to be subscribed to the Spotify for like 10 years.
Cool.
Every once in a while, something will pop up.
Just come on, Mary, come on out and just hang out, and we'll do a show for you.
Zach says, "Going to miss you, Segs. Thanks for everything, man. So say we all."
You guys remember Revision 3?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
We beat that, man.
Our pilot, baby.
Fucking Ichabod Crane and all that. Yeah, the pilot. By the way, shout out Brian Donnelly as well, who was a former host of the Best Damn Nerd Show. But yes, I remember Revision 3, and thank you for everything, Chris. And there'll be something for you later on in the episode, so I hope you come back and listen. But
Wait,
love
what
you,
the
man.
fuck does that mean?
Yeah, you just have to tune in. Just have to tune in to
bye.
find out. Bye.
Supposed
something
to be
for
the
all.
end.
Back to movie night, though. Adam, so do you have a particular favorite dreadful movie that you made us watch? Is it Fred 2? What is it?
I think the Fred.
Is it your
trilogy,
next pick?
They can always get worse, but I think the Fred trilogy really did it. I think we all bonded over that. I know Davis was legitimately a fan of the movies, from what I remember, and so I'm hoping there's a fourth. I'm hoping there's a fourth that comes out, even though, like we were discussing maybe earlier, I don't know if it was before we were on air, that we don't know what's going on with the person who played Fred anymore.
Yeah, we had a big Fred conversation before you jumped on, James.
We were actually. I don't think you were there for that.
Damn
We
it!
actually discussed
Save
Fred
it
in
for the
advance.
show.
I know, but I do want to say
We
that
learned nothing in 13 years.
I appreciated you having me on for all those movie nights, and I think the movie nights maybe was when I made my first appearance. If I remember correctly, I don't think I was on the main show at first. And so
I
was awesome.
I had to ease them into you, Adam. Had to warm you up.
Know where we go with that, but
we had to know where our money was going.
No, I just wanted them to get to know you a little bit before we brought you into the BDNS proper, and actually,
and
Jeff,
the listeners too, because we didn't greenlight any new memberships yet. So you were part of the X Factor, the movie night group.
Yeah,
and then we moved you on. Were you going to consult the notes, James?
Well, I was just going to say that Jeff sent me these wonderful notes where he had started archiving things from Best Damn Nerd Show episodes, and he made mention that episode 88, I believe it was, is your first appearance on Best Damn Nerd Show proper. And I do want to give Mark an opportunity here, though, because as far as I'm concerned, I played that movie night intro. And so as far as I'm concerned, we are currently in movie night. So Mark, finally, after these many years, what did you think of Tusk?
Oh, dude, Tusk is great. Oh, this is the best. Okay.
Cut him off.
Backstory.
I went and I saw it by myself in theaters, and it was so delightful. It gives you absolutely everything it promised. Grown man turned into a walrus. Horrifying delight. And it holds up the second time you watch it, too. You watch it again, still gets you. It's a beautiful film. Dude, man meets walrus. Man loves walrus. Man makes a walrus. It's fucking beautiful thing. You guys really should watch it. It is worth a watch. It is worth a watch.
One of my favorite
Genesis Rodriguez
Best Damn Nerd Show moments was Mark being adamant about that he wanted to talk about the movie Tusk, and I vetoed it, and I guess just sort of shot it down out of hand. And Mark, during his intro, I don't remember what episode. We'll have to get the archivist on it. But when I introduced Mark, he just goes, "Yeah, how about that movie Tusk? It was great." I just wasn't having any of my shutdown on it. So one of the things I knew when we brought up movie night, I wanted to give you an opportunity to say your piece about the movie Tusk.
Deserving of a movie night. It could still happen.
No, it's the final interval.
Movie night, though, is
movie night lives on.
Yeah,
it's true.
Different brand.
Off.
Yeah, okay.
Is there more Arrow too?
What is
Target?
Target.
More on Target as well. If we could have movie night, can that live on?
That show's dead.
Now that we have that Hawkeye show, you got to finish that Hawkeye show, dude.
He wants to make fun of a show that hasn't even aired yet? That's insane! Why should the BDNS do that?
Because we always have. Hey, Mark, you want to grab a drink after the show?
How about 24?
My watch has stopped.
I don't understand, James.
It's been magnetized.
Said the magic words, Davis. On target. So Tusk movie night's over. We're into on target stuff now. And
from now on, we're doing this.
Yeah, one of perhaps our greatest spin-off property based upon a show, of which there were at least two that I can think of. So, Jeff in his archiving also brought up the first time that On Target was mentioned on the show, and I went back and I found it.
Man, I really like his friend too.
Also, I told you
I
so.
like him, but I'm worried. I'm worried there's something
I could
going
see
on.
him getting killed though by the end of the first season.
Yeah,
I'll
I
tell
can
you
see
that much.
Oh yeah, well, because somehow Laurel and Arrow got to be together.
Well, I thought Laurel's friend brought up a very good point. It's like the only person that you've been with since Oliver is Oliver's best friend. It's like, yeah, she's Oliver Queen on the mind right now.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, absolutely. There's no getting around that.
Well,
and
I don't blame her though. I mean, he's a real dreamboat, and he is a billionaire, if nothing else.
I
mean,
did like.
Fuck, he could look like Danny DeVito. He's a billionaire.
All right, we're gonna.
I will say this: the choreography for Arrow, I like how he utilizes the bow in like hand-to-hand combat.
I do too. I like that.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that before. It looks so cool.
Yeah, I think the costume is cool too. I think it's.
And I think like realistic too.
And
it's very durable.
we've talked about this. The actor that plays him, he's just
I love this.
a cool guy. And
Yeah, I want to be his friend.
Yeah, we want to be friends with him. I'm gonna go ahead and give him another open invitation. We'll send out
Spit in
another
our
one of
face.
those. None have been returned, but many have been sent. Open invitation to be on the best.
Guys, nobody's RSVP'd to our show, and it's getting really close.
I bought a lot of Chipsy Dip, and we're not going to be able to eat all this ourselves.
I just want to know
And
when
quite
I
a
go
bit
to
of
the
ice.
store, how many 12 packs am I picking up? And none of you have fucking said anything. Richard Hatch is a yes.
Yeah, well, he
is.
as soon as that Facebook invite went out, he was already attending.
Well, because it said like food and beverages will be provided.
All right, well, let's leave Arrow right there. We'll pick it back up again next week. I'm excited to see where they go with it, and
Same Arrow time, same Arrow station.
love it. Right on. You're on target, Jeff. Bullseye.
Shit. Mother.
So that
A
was
legend
that,
is born.
that was the birth of On Target. As you can see, Richard Hatch still a part of it, but really talking Arrow and doing, the On Target episodes and stuff like that. Some of my fondest Best Damn Nerd Show memories. Marco, you stuck with Arrow through the very end. What did you love about the series and just doing On Target, man?
I love that they just kept introducing more characters along the way, and they really let them all kind of breathe. It wasn't cramming in too much, I felt. But man, when they started jumping into like Futurescape Arrow on the final season and like going with his like kids and trash. It was trash. But yeah, I did.
Even Mark didn't like it.
Dude, yeah, and they're still trying to live her on too. Like Oliver Queen's kid as like grown up Lady Arrow.
Is that a show?
What about
it
Connor
cameos
Hawk?
and
They ever do
other
that?
stuff? They did like a Connor Hawk-ish, but not really.
Okay.
Yeah. The show had a lot of really good moments in it. I mean, Ollie Queen in jail? Ollie Queen in jail, dude? Prison riots? Dope. I
Was
believe
that with Cody Rhodes?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah,
That's right.
I remember
And
that.
that's when they became fast friends.
That's
Yeah,
right.
they still doing that Heels show together, or did that even come out?
I don't know.
Heels is out now.
It did come out. I don't know if it got picked up for season 2. I didn't see.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Jeff, what about you On Target? You're just warm and fuzzies about that time period of the nerd show, dude.
Boy, I tell you, the first season and a half of Arrow, what a magical time that was on the CW.
When you say season and a half, what outfit am I thinking of from season 2? That little Russian snow bunny from the character from Firefly when they were in the Russia.
Shit, that's a great episode too.
That is a great episode. That's a great
Honor.
Deadshot episode.
Yep,
Honor.
that's a great Honor episode. That was, man, Deadshot became such a great character. It's a shame that they had to kill him off
Table.
because they were thinking it's like just Will Smith is Deadshot now.
And
then
now
look what happened there.
And now in 2021, those rules don't even apply anymore. Could have had them both.
Yeah, I know we could have had them both. It breaks
Well,
my heart.
In one of
But,
the big crossovers, they tied in the Zack Snyder movie universe actors coming in and cameoing on, I think it was for Infinite Earths.
Yeah, wasn't Ezra
Yeah.
on
Mhm.
The Flash?
Flash. Yeah.
Yeah.
A beautiful exchange.
I
You can
watched
find it on
that.
YouTube. It's
Yeah,
delightful.
I watched it on YouTube. I'm not going to sit through The Flash anymore, but yeah, that was great. I really did enjoy the exchange between those two characters. What else was I going to say? Oh, as far as like segments for the show, though, I mean, that was one that, like, if you're looking for something that we were passionate about and like, really put effort into, it's like, I mean, yeah, we loved On Target. That was the best part of the show for a long time. At least the part I looked forward to the most.
I remember I had a good
Yeah.
long run at Comic-Con getting the Arrow bag for like
Yes.
4 or 5 consecutive years.
Dude, we
having
had
to
such
make
a great
trades and
streak.
swaps
Yeah.
just to get it.
Yeah,
we were very passionate about that show. I mean, just that intro where we were making up our own lines and doing all that
I know,
stuff. Like, so good. A blood transfusion? That's insane. I got to reference. Interscope said it here. I know Gay Florida Nerd said it to me in a private chat earlier, but old school. Respect. Yeah, so,
the mayor.
I remember watching that episode with you and Davis. That was great.
Dude, honestly, I remember being at the radio station, working and having Arrow on, texting you guys while we were. It was so much fun, like to have like that sort of destination programming show, and I think that was kind of the first one that we all got in together at the start on, and
could have been the Cape, guys. We just refused to watch it.
Spider Silk. Davis, any on target thoughts? You're the one that brought it up. Don't fall asleep on me, boy.
No, I mean we're drinks deep. We're in the cups at this point. No, I mean it just all I can think of now is Felicity, and what that show turned into was just the Felicity and Friends show, and I don't know why they went that way. And they it was very strange. But the first 3 seasons, I want to say, were just blissful memories, and they really had something going. And it's not surprising that after that long, it kind of loses its little thing that it had, and it went a different direction. But it was a lot of fun for 3 seasons.
Yeah, we had a couple good seasons. I feel like after season 2, it started to really precipitously fall off.
The Roy Harper stuff was great. Once they built out Team Arrow with Mr. Terrific and Ragman and Wild Dog, that was really cool too. An actual real Black Canary. It had some good stuff in the later years too.
Look, John Barrowman, that because I didn't watch Torchwood and I was not super familiar with John Barrowman before Arrow, and because of that show, I did become familiar with him, and I loved him as Merlin. And I just his enjoyment. I love that Comic-Con panel where he teased for us that he would be coming back to Arrow and everything like that. That was great. And yes, Jeff did have a pocket full of I told you so's in that Birth of On Target, that he did predict the death of Tommy Merlin.
Tommy Merlin.
Yes.
R.I.P.
Tommy, open your eyes. What was that? 3 Ghosts, great season 2 episode as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it was super fun. Adam, you were a part of a different TV spinoff on the Best Damn Nerd Show. You were a part of White Hat, Black Hat when we were talking Westworld, when we got into cowboy stuff.
That was a good one.
I really loved Westworld. Got very passionate about it, but boy, did that fall off a cliff.
I mean, we're still watching them, but
I'm not.
Oh, you didn't watch season 3?
I didn't watch season 2.
Okay, so you really fell off. Okay.
I watched a few episodes and I was like, this sucks, I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, direction-wise, I don't know if they have a plan. I think they're just kind of running with it. It's got some cool sci-fi elements, but the story itself isn't nearly as interesting when they're basically taking it out of the worlds. Once you've kind of done that, you're kind of out. But I do remember our big debate back on that for the first season about one. I don't know if you remember this, but about one non CGI'd younger version of the Man in the Black Hat.
Oh yeah, we can spoiler.
Should we? I mean, do you remember? I remember this back and forth. Jeff was there. We were talking about it.
Go ahead, illuminate me.
They cheated us on that twist. They cheated us on that twist because they just picked a dude who looked very different than an older version of himself. And I
have no recollection of debating this. What a stupid take.
I still stand by this. I still stand by this.
I blocked it out.
I stand by this take. So go back. This is just a reminder to go back and listen and look what happened. Look where the series went, and because of that, obviously. So,
Adam was so adamant that there wasn't a time skip. I remember that. And then, when we gave him our
because they
reasoning for it,
cheated.
he just totally shut it down. He's
They-
none of
they
that.
cheated
Really.
They fooled Adam.
They
fooled Adam. He
CGI'd
didn't take it right.
CGI'd a younger
They
version of Anthony
didn't.
Hopkins. When you CGI someone and you don't CGI someone else, you're cheating.
I thought
The end.
the issue was that because we kept comparing you to William's friend from season 1 that was just doing the starter quests, and you didn't like that.
I didn't fancy that was my character, but I mean, once you go into Westworld, things just kind of develop, right? So it's what it is.
Oh my god!
I have to go.
Okay.
Everyone. So I wanted to say thank you to the whole crew here. It's been awesome. Even though I've only been attending as a guest every now and then, and obviously keeping our books as much in the black as I can, though they're very much deep in the red. Although less in the red by $4.99 as of today. So thank you. But thanks for all the listens and the listeners and the folks here. I recognize a lot of names from back in the day as well. It's been awesome.
You were a phenomenal part of it. I always loved having you on. Someday maybe somebody will hear that Event Horizon movie night. But
Oh boy, it was a classic.
Oh, that's the other one of
That's
the
the other
lost
one.
episodes.
Yeah, Adam and I were talking about that yesterday too.
I think one day if you can release all the lost episodes, except maybe the Surf Ninjas one.
you got a fan. Josh Leahy says, "Love you, Adam. Thanks for making the guys watch the worst movies."
Oh, thanks, Josh. I hope you've been watching them along with us as well. All right.
Probably not. I doubt it. Have a good one. Love you.
Love you, Adam.
Good riddance.
The tagline for movie night should have just been "We watch so you don't have to."
Oh, that is good. Well, maybe next time.
Adam.
Too late now, John.
Maybe for the reboot of the reboot.
Where was that? A fucking decade ago.
Adam will always. So I think with people having to go, and I know it's starting to get a little bit late here at the Best Damn Nerd Show. Hi, Joe. Maybe just play a few more clips and then go into something that I want to say to you guys. But I do have some stuff to play, and this one is a gem. So the preamble was the conversations that happened in between the show. In my opinion, some of the best conversations happened before the show actually started. Go ahead, John. You got something to say?
I just saying, "Oh God."
Oh no, it's trust me. By the way, Interscope. Whoa, Jesus Christ, is that real? For Comic-Con, the $100.
I'm glad he waited till Adam.
Thank you.
logged off.
Yeah, that doesn't go to Adam.
Wait,
Don't tell Adam.
105 total. Is Interscope C? Is he Steve Stapleton? Whoever gave us $100 back in the day, and we were rich. You are now just our highest donor. Thank you so much.
That.
You just gave us $100 for Comic-Con and the books.
Yeah, back in the day.
That's linked to my bank, right?
Yeah. back in the SF State days, we put like a PayPal link and didn't expect anyone to ever donate. And some guy donated. Steve Stapleton donated $100, and I remember for like a week we were all just walking around like, why would someone give us money?
That's incredible. Thank you
spend our time entertaining.
So very much. But the preamble was always something that I really enjoyed. Some of my favorite like jokes and stuff like that came from the preamble. But
also completely non-radio friendly conversation.
Sometimes, and sometimes hosts weren't really
humanity friendly.
Sometimes some of the hosts weren't really on board with me using that bonus content.
You making up for something in a past life? Like, what did you do?
And welcome back to Movie Night with the Best Damn Nerd
Watch him
Show.
fucking throw that into the show too. Like, you know how like sometimes he sneaks like early dialogue into the intro now, I noticed? Like, can mention me talking like I forget what I said in like one of them. I was wearing underwear or something like that. I'd slap you in the face, James. Those are private conversations that I'm having. What if I'm talking about how I'd love to all of our listeners or something like that? I've never said that, but what if I did?
And welcome back to Movie Night with the Best Damn Nerd Show. I'm your host, James Kincaid. With me tonight, Imperial Commissar Jeff Budd.
I'm fucking done.
I love the preambles. Yes. By the way, Zach with a great reference to the Amazon link at no cost to you, pennies on the dollar. But yeah, I always loved the preamble, and even twisting sometimes. Yes, twisting your words around. I can finally admit it, being that this is the final interval. I apologize to Commissar JB. He never said he didn't like Crazy Stupid Love.
Exactly.
I edited
Tour de
it.
force.
But because of being the editor, I was able to change his words around, and forever that was Best Damn Nerd Show canon until tonight. I set you free, and I set you free from all of the preamble stuff that snuck in.
I hope
there
Ryan
as well.
Gosling still listens to the show.
He doesn't. But yeah, I love the preambles were some of my favorite jokes. Yeah, and just there, I have on an old hard drive somewhere tons of just for us conversations saved. It's just like I'm not even saying
destroy that.
No,
Destroy that right now.
Dude, not good.
You misunderstand what I mean. It's just us friends talking, like literally conversations that I happen to be recording because it was just us talking. So it's just us friends chatting, and I hope to recover that someday, just because I really did cherish those conversations. Josh also asked, is there anyone who can remember the Fresh Brewed Teas promo code Mark Truex?
FBT TBDNS 1.
You got it. Number one.
Oh, give him a T-shirt.
I know. Where'd all those shirts go?
That website's gone. It was run by Jason.
I do think it's important to say though, like when we first started doing the podcast in like 2000, whenever it was. God, it's been a long time now. No, it was before 9. Right?
It was 09.
We said it earlier.
09. Okay.
Yes, February.
Yeah. When we started doing it, like there weren't really any off camera or off microphone conversations. Like it all went into the show, and we did crazy shit, and we said crazy shit, and it was all broadcast on campus radio, like on campus, like in the school, like in the offices of the school. And part of the fun was like pushing the envelope and seeing like if we would ever get in trouble for doing things. And we would do crazy gags, but it was like people would love them, and it was part of the fun. I think increasingly, and this is just part of like going on hiatus and then coming back, part of our conversations off stream have been like, it's a weird time to be pushing the envelope, you do have to be a little bit more careful, because something that you perceive as a joke, someone else might take completely seriously, whether they're being genuine in how serious they're taking it or not. And yeah, the stakes are so much higher now than when we were, and part of it is our age at the time, but it's just also the climate that we're in.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the sort of conversations on social media don't really feel like conversations at all anymore. Yeah. Like, I feel like if I were to come out and say I hated Spider-Man No Way Home, that like people would be looking at me differently just because I didn't like the movie. Which I'm not saying that I didn't like it, but
say more.
Somebody
Flip
did.
it.
Somebody did message us Nerdgasm or Nogasm on No Way Home with no spoilers. Jeff, Nerdgasm or Nogasm?
Big Nerdgasm.
Anybody else see it?
Nope.
I did see it. Not as big of a nerdgasm, but definitely some gasming was going on. So I will not be giving it a no-gasm. Definitely some nerdgasm action and some nostalgic feels, which we were really at the forefront of sort of that nostalgia train, back in 09. I just wanted to talk about what we were into when we were kids and stuff like that. I want to play some. We haven't had much Tim Childs representation because of technical difficulties on the show. So here's a classic Tim from episode 9 of the Best Damn Nerd Show: Darth Vader versus Lord Voldemort.
Okay, so Lord Voldemort versus Lord Vader.
Well, I mean, okay, as a little kid, when Dumbledore first came across him, he was already manipulating those around him and hurting people. He hung a bunny rabbit from a rafter. I don't remember Vader ever hugging a bunny rabbit. I remember him walking by the old lady going, "Annie, get home!" And he was scared of a sandstorm.
Again, we're not counting the prequels.
Well, I'm sorry, but
we're not counting the prequels.
Okay, all right, fine.
Oh man.
What did Vader do? He brought Luke onto his ship, who ended up killing him. That was a real smart move there, Vader.
The Force is more powerful than the magic in the Harry
But
Potter
it takes
world.
more concentration to use the Force, I think.
Like,
Yeah, you
okay,
can do,
let's
like, one
let's
activity at a
go.
time.
Last time I checked, you want to talk about the person that killed them? Lord Voldemort lost to a little kid.
It was a
17-year-old
little
kid.
It was a technicality, first of all.
17.
Okay?
Oh yeah, and yeah, Luke Skywalker's just some guy. I loved him, and it was really well done by him. I must say I wish he could be on here. Tim has a unique perspective and a way of talking about things really unlike any other. Let's go back to episode 5 because early Best Damn Nerd Show was all about Watchmen, and they had an interesting promo going on. Watchmen condoms. The slogan is "We're society's only protection," and they are colored blue like Dr. Manhattan. Jeff, will you be buying it?
It's scary.
Well, if it has the power to make it grow like Dr. Manhattan, then yeah, I will. I will definitely be buying some Watchmen condoms.
Wait, what if it gave you the ability to be like 4 Jeff Buds?
At the same time,
Yeah,
well,
you could be like-
the one girl that was used on wasn't too into it, so no.
Well,
you're gonna need that many Jeff Buds
But-
to pleasure one girl.
Would it give me those powers, but then I'm indifferent towards the experience
Mom, if
altogether?
you're listening, I'm sorry.
I just couldn't wear them because I wouldn't want that to look like any part of a Smurf. So I am highly against that. I don't think I can wear them. I think if they had the yellow smiley face,
Good
Watchmen,
point. I think that should be.
would
I think that'd be more like the
fantastic.
rapper, though. I think that should be like.
That's not a bad idea either. I like
Yeah,
that.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Watchmen was sort of one of the big sort of coalescence of the early Best Damn Nerd Show. For the longest time, Muse Take a Bow, which was from the Watchmen trailer, was the bed of our Best Damn Nerd Show intro. So much fun with that. I do have some more clips that I want to burn out here. Just some excellent audio here. Here's classic Mark.
Did you get anything in the mail today, Jeff?
No.
Okay.
I didn't get anything either, James.
Is it something small like that could fit in my box, or is it something that would be left at my door?
In your box.
Totally in your box.
I didn't check the mail today. I can check it tomorrow though and see.
Cool. You checked too, Mark.
You didn't either? That's weird.
Show up every day, look around on the floor, nothing's there.
Oh my God! Mark, what am I gonna send you from Japan? You were just there.
I don't know. My birthday.
You stupid ass.
Guess he'll send you the same thing you sent him.
Oh my God! I love you, Mark. You're amazing. You're amazing. You really.
How is Dungeons and Dragons Riverdale? That's still going on?
I am. Jason Priestley died, and it took the wind from my sails.
Wow, dude! Luke
So I haven't
Perry
stayed
died.
alive where I am.
Luke Perry died. You piece of shit.
You know what I mean?
You piece of shit.
Dead.
Dude, Jason
Luke Perry.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Exactly, I fell off.
You said it, and I didn't even think to correct it. I was like, yeah, the 90210 guy.
Oh my God! You're an absolute classic, Mark.
Luke Perry was great in that show, though.
Yeah, he was.
He absolutely was.
How was Mr. Priestley's performance, Mark?
Subpar.
All right, we have a Dear Nerdy really quick. And this is from Zach. He says, I would love for everyone to mention some of the current podcasts or YouTube or Twitch streamers you guys are into, so if people are looking for something they can check out. Jeff, you mentioned earlier you just finished, was it Talking Sopranos?
I haven't finished it, but Talking Sopranos just finished. So if you ever want to listen to like an episode by episode breakdown of the Sopranos series by a couple of the lead actors, I do highly recommend it.
Another great time to recommend Ultra Monthly, Mark.
Gotta say, if you're a fan of 90s comic nostalgia, Jeff and I have the Ultra Monthly podcast where we dive into the Ultraverse, the late and great Malibu Comics property that lasted for about 3 years. And happy to say, Jeff and I now have the longest running IP in the Ultraverse.
Oh, look
soon,
at that.
soon to be in the
Whoa!
Nerdosphere if you
That's
keep
right.
it up.
That's right. And it's technically a
That's
Marvel
right.
Comics property, so you nerds. Go check it out. Thor shows up and shit.
Oh,
You're
C
on
stands
that
for
mouse
continuing.
train.
And Loki. People love Loki.
Afraid to get sued. But we'll see.
Davis, you listening to anything?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm a big history guy. I love history, but I also love to laugh. I do go to movies to laugh, and I do listen to podcasts to laugh.
I don't go to laugh.
Yeah.
I never knew any of these things about Davis. What?
I listen to a podcast called The Dollop. It's a lot of fun. It talks mostly about American history. Two comedians just going back, and it's one comedian that knows the history and one kind of reacting to it that knows nothing about it. So it's a lot of fun. I listen to it on a lot of car trips, and then they dive into a lot of Australian history later on because they do end up doing a lot of live shows there.
Awesome, Johnny. What are you into right now?
I mean, I mostly just like stick with like comedy podcasts now. I think my favorite right now is Tim Dillon's podcast because he's a fucking maniac and maybe one of the last like true comedians, still willing to say crazy stuff. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm listening to.
I really loved the early, and I only fell off because they weren't playing D&D anymore. But the Adventure Zone, if you have not listened to that, go back to the beginning when they started playing Dungeons and Dragons. That is one of my all-time favorite podcasts and reminiscent of us in terms, I mean, they're a family. It's brothers and their dad playing Dungeons and Dragons together. And they're really funny guys. They get into the characters. I got into some of the characters, and it was hard for me to finish their D&D arc because I didn't want to say goodbye to those characters. So definitely check out the Adventure Zone. I also I want to mention that there is a GoFundMe that Snide messaged me about that's for starving artists out there that are having a hard time because of COVID and everything like that. So many great creative people. So it's called Kits Feed the Starving Artist Food Drive. So if you have a little extra jingle jangle going on during the holiday season and you have a heart for the creative types, which we are with a microphone. I'm certainly not with a pen in my hand or anything like that, but check out Kits Feed the Starving Artist Food Drive, and I know they'd certainly appreciate it. One of the things that got to come up before we get out of here is the Dungeons and Dragons episode, And it was probably the best episode in the history of the show, and
sorry, Mark, before your time.
Yeah.
Well, but all of you should check your emails so you can find your character sheets. If you do so now.
Oh, okay.
So
even mine? Do I have
yours,
email?
Mark? No, I'm sorry. There's no emails.
You got us all typing away.
I was actually looking.
Sorry, but when we last left our heroes, they were all passed out in that tavern, and to be continued for another time. But that does take me into how I want to end tonight's show, and that's you can't have a final interval without a final nerdies. So let's take a look back at maybe the finest moment of the nerdies. And it is about the D&D episode, which I still think stands the test of time, is perhaps our greatest work. So let's kick it over to another great Chris Davis personality, the Predator.
The Academy! Thank you for having me. Anyways. The best damn nerd show. Has long been here to grace us with their presence. And I, for one, know that this was one of my finest achievements.
It's not for you.
But for the greatest episode, we have to acknowledge the D&D experience.
So yes, and it stands up now that the Dungeons & Dragons episode, perhaps our greatest ever. But I do have some final nerdies for all of you. I thought a lot about this entire episode. I haven't been able to get to everything that we wanted to do here, but I wanted to make sure that I recognized each one of you as part of the Best Damn Nerd Show, and I tried to come up with some nerdies that fit for everyone. I'll start with those that are not present right now, and then get to you guys. And that is, let's start with head boy Timothy Childs, and he is winning the Jonathan Frakes Beyond Belief Nerdy for great storytelling. And, you know, Tim, when you can actually get him on the show or when you can lock him down, is, in my opinion, one of the great storytellers that I've ever known. I think back to listening to him talk about World of Warcraft guild stories, just game stories, sitting with him across that McDonald's, you know, near your house, John, and just listening to Tim tell World of Warcraft stories and all the other crazy shenanigans just that Tim would get into. He is an incredible storyteller, so phenomenally funny, his unique perspective and just delivery. He is an unforgettable character, and I love Tim very much. All right, the Gandalf the Grey Empowerment Nerdy goes to final boss Chris Seglia, and someone that has helped, you know, empower this whole nerd movement. I mean, all the stuff that he is doing in the fighting game community, you know, with Tenno, they're the preeminent leader in that fighting game space. Davis, you know, we've gone to see his handy, John, you too, like his handiwork just in Las Vegas, like the incredible sort of world that he really built up, starting with I Play Winner and just what it's all become. You know, I'm so grateful to Seglia. We played that Becca Hottie of the Week production element, you know, and he's just, for me personally, always, you know, been one that was very encouraging to me and a believer in my ability. So that is why he wins the Gandalf the Grey Empowerment Nerdy, Chris Seglia. I love you. The Leonard Maltin Nerdy for excellence in cinema critique. I think this is pretty obvious who this goes to. Adam Zika is, of course, the winner of the Leonard Maltin Nerdy for Excellence in Cinema Critique. You know, Adam, I think every time he was on, whether it was Movie Night or the Best Damn Nerd Show, was always memorable. He is somebody that is just naturally hilarious, very, very similar to Tim, and sort of he has that unique delivery as well. And just the movies that he picked, his deadpan delivery, the fact that we were able to track down Leonard Maltin at Comic-Con so that I wouldn't hate him for the rest of my life for him not believing me that we saw Leonard Maltin. Yes, Adam Zika, you are the winner of the Leonard Maltin Nerdy for Excellence in Cinema Critique. I love you, Adam. Thank you for everything. All right, now for those of you that are here, you know, it's hard to sort of put into words what all of you mean to me. And, you know, this next winter and I go way, way back. Some say 5th grade. Some would say 4th grade. People debate it for years. But one thing that I have always appreciated about him is his optimism, his attitude, always coming to the Best Damn Nerd Show, like with just the best attitude. He makes it fun. You know, one of the very best at making things fun. Always that laugh, that smile. There were some things I didn't get to play tonight. You know, one episode where Mark was, you were just, well, spoiler, he was just in his cups, but was just, I mean, it was hysterical. But your attitude makes such a big difference beyond just the show, but in my life. So the Clark Kent Nerdy for congeniality and optimism goes to CSO of Star Labs, Mark Truex. Mark, the floor is yours. Say what you want to say about what the show has meant to you and anything you want. This is how we're closing up shop. If you win, you get to say your piece.
Well, thank you, man. This show has meant a lot to me. It's been a beacon of light every week or other week or monthly over the last 9 years. It's been phenomenal just to get to hang with my boys. It's weird growing up and you get older where you I know you guys all formed the show when you were in college and you were in dorms together and living together and got to see each other daily. But as life, you grow up and you spread apart geographically and all these other senses. But this was a nice, flagpole for us to come back to every single time and get a rally behind and have our brotherhood and our fellowship. And that just means the world to me. And the fact that people even like to just hear us ramble. Surprisingly, hi everyone in the chat. I'm just here to talk to you guys, and the fact that that's even remotely entertaining and not mind-numbingly dull is pretty special. So, thank you. This has been an absolute treasure, you guys.
Well said. Love you, Marco. The Tony Stark nerdy for ingenuity and vision. And, one of the joys of the reboot of the Best Damn Nerd Show is that it brought us all back together. And for me in particular, a lot of the conversations that happened behind the scenes really brought the winner and I back together. And that is for the Tony Stark nerdy for ingenuity and vision and all the things that he has done to... Like, the fact that we have this live stream going right now is because of him. When we left SF State, figuring out how to do it on Skype, I know for a fact he must get so annoyed with me because I am such a technologically challenged moron with trying to get these things going. But he has done it, so well for so long, and him coming back and being a part of this has been awesome. So the winner for the nerdy for ingenuity and vision, you got the vision, as he used to say when we would be playing Madden football, Jonathan Craig. I love you, John.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I just enjoy toiling away, and the podcast has always given me a reason to just mess around and learn new stuff and try new things. The Skype era was especially challenging because none of this infrastructure was there yet. And now having come back last year and the stuff that the tools we've been able to utilize, things have been made a lot easier. But honestly, having a reason to do it is just as fulfilling to me as doing it, in and of itself. Like, being able to be on with you guys, listen to you guys, some of the funniest moments I can remember have happened with all of us just on together recording, or even the preamble stuff, or planning shows and just some of the absurd ideas that we have, and it's been a pleasure doing this with all you guys, and I think it's brought all of us closer together as friends. And I do got to give you your flowers too, James. Like, when we started doing this in college, it was a huge risk. No one was doing anything like this. Every other show on campus radio was a sports show or a political show. And we were like, let's do a sports format, but make it all about the opposite of sports. But you were always down to put yourself out there, take risks, try crazy shit. No idea was too crazy for you to try. We did to promote the show on campus one day, we did a LARPing event where we all stayed up all night the night before drinking Michelob Ultras and making armor out of the boxes. We got invited to a Final Fantasy launch party and convinced James to dress up as the motion capture guy, and we basically just bought him black thermals and hot glued a bunch of ping pong balls to the outfit, and while we were at the event, people were like, "Oh, what are you here for?" And we kept telling people that James played. I forget what we said you played. What the character?
I was the ninja.
You were the ninja.
It was not in the game, I don't think.
Yeah.
It definitely had no mocap in the game.
Yeah, people were like, "What are you guys here for?" We're like, "Oh, he played the ninja," and then James would just completely run with it and go on long diatribes about the recording process as the ninja. It's for me, it's been fun to learn the technical stuff and figure out how to continue to grow that, but also having fun subject matter and a good group of guys that are always down to be crazy that's been the part of the fun too.
Amen. Thank you, John. The Richard Hatch Memorial Nerdy of stalwart dependability. And
there's the word.
There's the word. I told you it would come back around. You know, what this recipient used to be dependable for was to be drunk on the podcast in the early days. And I guess in the final day as well. So it all comes back around. But
seemed right.
But you know what? You came to be a dependable friend, one of my best friends, dependable host on this show. Certainly, I think especially highlighted in the last year and a half that I could always count on this person. So the Richard Hatch Memorial Nerdy of stalwart dependability goes to one Professor Chris Davis. I love you, Chris.
Love you too. It's the last 13 years almost. This has been one of those things that you didn't anticipate in your life. I grew up very sports centric, with my nerdy background kind of hidden, and not something that was ever celebrated or anything like that. And this was always an escape for me. I didn't get to always focus on this kind of stuff, and it wasn't always easy at the beginning, because it wasn't something I was used to being able to talk about. And I think that's why it ended up being a good reason to have me on. But you guys let me be my more than I think I ever could, and it turned into a highlight of the week for me. Being able to look forward to those moments, those hours in the studio beforehand, those nights before recording, just BSing and just being able to be myself as much as possible. It meant the world to me. And throughout the years, being able to go to Comic-Con, I mean, these are memories that I will always remember. I will always pass down to people I talk to, and my family and my friends, and I have, gosh, how many, 8, 9 lifelong friends here now because of this. That even if a couple months go by, I know I can pick up the phone and call, and it's like nothing. It's like 2 minutes passed, and I think that's pretty rare when it comes to friendship. So. I love you guys, and thank you to the fans as well. We've had some amazing moments with you. I hope we get to meet some of you more later on at some point, or just keep talking. We'll be around. Discord's still happening. We're still going to be chatting. I'm not going anywhere in there, so keep the conversation happening. Let's keep having fun, just chatting away.
The MySpace Tom Nerdy for great social media management goes to Joel Bailey, formerly of Sixpence None the Richer, who became a friend of the show, a friend of ours because of the show, and he managed our Facebook for forever. So big thank you to Joel. The Nerdy, the Professor Charles Xavier Knowledge and Impact Nerdy goes to, and it was so tough to find the appropriate nerdy for this person. So many could apply. But I was struck by something that he said about Charles Xavier, and that's why he is winning this nerdy, is that in any timeline in which Charles Xavier is taken off the board, it instantly becomes a worse world. He's also, I believe, the most knowledgeable of all of us nerds, so it fits in that regard as well. But the Professor Charles Xavier Knowledge and Impact Nerdy goes to Imperial Commissar Jeff Budd. I love you, Jeff. The floor is yours.
I love you too. How great if the award didn't go to me, because I was starting to get a big head when you had said that about being most knowledgeable. I think I'll just be echoing what everybody else has already been saying. As much as I've enjoyed doing the show, just to be able to talk about all of these things that we're passionate about, it's the friendships, it's the relationships. Some of you I was already somewhat close with before we started doing the podcast, but I mean, obviously our friendships are so much stronger because of all of this, how much we've kept in touch. It's so funny, when I was living so far away, I was one of the first ones, I think, to leave San Francisco. And it's like, I still was talking to you guys on a weekly basis. I remember when I saw Davis one time at Comic-Con, I go, Chris, I talk to you more often than I do friends that I live super close by. And it's like, yeah, you guys are my closest and dearest friends for a lot of reasons. And I was so happy and honored to have all of you at my wedding, and just how many years it's been. And without the podcast, I don't know if I would have ever even have met Mark, because that was because of us going to Comic-Con and you introducing me to him. I don't know how much I would have kept in touch with Adam, who I had barely known at that point. I met Seglia on air. It's like I'll always remember that and be able to listen to it. But I mean, and now I'm talking about all of you, but it's also the listeners too. Shit, I got to see Luke grow up. I mean, he's a married man now. He was a high school student who was a fan of our podcast. And it's like, Justin and all the great things he's accomplished, and Mary Dan, and I mean, it's just I'm only naming a few of them. Colin, who I got to meet a couple of times because he was going to LMU as I was still attending, and it's been a great honor and a great opportunity. And I've loved everybody that I've met through this. I love all the friendships that have continued to grow because of it. And yeah, it's just this is one of the greatest things that I think I've gotten to be a part of, and I'm going to cherish it greatly.
Well said. I agree. I'm going to give myself a nerdy, and my brother kind of predicted it. I am getting the Steve Rogers nerdy for long-winded moral high ground. And so
no one more deserving.
I want to echo, though, and that's why I'll try and be as short, because I know I've kept you guys long, and I apologize for that. But I mean, we're ending a 13-year show, so. But I wanted to share something that Josh commented on our photo of us, that old photo from SF State. He put this on Facebook, and this really struck a chord with me, and so many of you have, and these friendships that we have together mean the world to me. And when I say I love you, I mean that sincerely and from the bottom of my heart. Josh said this, though. So I found you guys very early on, within like the first 10 episodes when you guys were still in school. It was a very rough and lonely time in my life, and you guys were one of the very few bright spots in it. You guys were the friends I needed at the time. I binge listened to your episodes so many times and started so many re-listens. It's been amazing to see you guys grow. Almost made it the whole show. It's been amazing to see you guys grow and get on your individual and amazing careers as I grew on my path in life. There were times you guys went on hiatus, and it was always so nice when you came back. Hosts have come and gone as their paths on life took them different places. When I heard you were needing to move on, it hit hard. But as a lifelong wrestling fan, I was so proud of you to further yourself in that industry. Then the announcement of the end of the podcast came, and while not unexpected, I found myself getting misty-eyed as I read the statement. Thank you, James, for all the hard work you put in the show. Thank all of you guys, Jeff, Davis, Mark, John, and everyone else who has appeared on the show for sharing your insights and relationships with us. So sad that, so sad that this wonderful, nerdy, heartfelt little podcast is ending, but glad at least I will be able to fire up my Zune or other non-name brand MP3 player to say goodbye. And this is the last thing I have said. That was beautifully said, and thank you so much for that, Josh. It's a lot more than just some silly podcast to me and to all of us. And I'm struck by a story of when I was a kid. I couldn't be more than 8 or 9 years old, playing with my friend Ryan's Talk Boy and pretending to be a talk show host. And that's all I wanted to do. And this is the realization of that dream for me. And it has been such an incredible dream come true. And I thank all of you for it. My friends, you bow to no one. I couldn't have imagined being blessed with a more talented group of people. And only John, Chris, and I even went to school for broadcasting, and I'm the only one that seemed to have any interest in being on air, and you are all so phenomenally talented. It baffles me at how good you are, and I've just been so blessed by that and by your incredible friendships. As for the legacy of the Best Damn Nerd Show and what I hope to live on, I'm struck by a song lyric that came from Warren Zevon, and I'm paraphrasing. It's, if I leave, it doesn't mean I love you any less. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sometimes when you're doing simple things around the house, maybe you'll think of us and smile. Keep us in your heart for a while. And with that, I say thank you so very much, Nerdosphere. Have a great rest of eternity and the rest of your intervals. And remember, if you're a nerd, always say it loud and say it proud. I love you all.
Love you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Love all of you.
Thank you.